guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna just say hello to you guys really quickly, and then address something really quick. Well, actually, let me do that first. So, top chat. Someone had asked they couldn't see other people in the chat. So, if you are in the live chat and you want to make sure that you see all the messages, you have to go to the top and there's a couple little lines. Click that and make sure it says all messages, because if you don't do that, you will not be able to see everybody in the chat who's commenting. Also, clicker. Yes, I did get one. Okay, so you and Pointer both sent Reese's, and I've gotten one of the two, and I know hers said delivered, so I'm wondering if they're both coming today. And also, thank you guys so much. I'm very excited because I'm totally out, so I'm just so excited. Thank you. You guys are too good to me. Okay, so I just want to say hello to you guys. Hi, Harley. Hi, Amanda. Hello, Melissa Jade. Hey, Lisa. Hello, Malibu Surfer, Nana Banana, Punksy, Claus. Hey, Anna, Skylab, Michelle, Stevie Grace, Tony, Crochet and Coffee, Adrian, Tess, Stevie Grace, Sparkles, Chicken Shite, Miss Clicker. And again, thank you, both of you guys. I just love you guys so much. Thank you. Hey, Harlot. Hey, Sancy. I think I said hello to you, Malibu Surfer, but if not, hello, Grammy Nini, Michelle. Start to forget when we get so far. 99 Problems, Chloe Moon, Kathy, Anna, Forgets and Shiggles, all of you guys, thank you for being here. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Ashley. Thank you for joining, Julian. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so I'm going to bring Jen up because we're going to get right into this in just a second. Hey, something to talk about. Good to see you. Hey, Bendy.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, Mama knows best. So before we get into it, Jen, I wanted to pull up the file. So on the night before this call that we're listening to, there was an incident report, and I had talked about it on your channel just briefly, but just so you guys can see. So on Monday, March the 8th, let's see who authored this one. Cynthia Ayad. She says on Monday, March the 8th, no, I'm sorry, it's Deputy Shanahan authored this. She says at approximately 11:30, I was standing at the deputy desk looking around, and I observed inmate Stauch standing at her cell door without any clothing on. She looked straight at me, and before I could say anything, she turned around and walked off. Inmate Stauch came back a few minutes later with her top on. After a few 15-minute welfare checks, I observed Stauch standing in her cell crying. I stopped and asked her if she was okay. She stated, "No, I'm not okay. They are making me choose between my son and my stepson, and I don't know what to do." Because we have a no law enforcement contact order with Stauch, I did not ask her to explain or clarify. I only asked her if she needed to speak with mental health. Inmate Stauch said she did not need to speak with mental health because they haven't done anything to help her in the past. She also said she does not trust them. Stauch then said, "I just need Jesus, and normally he is here with me, but today he isn't." I again offered for Stauch to speak with mental health, and she declined. I advised her to let me know if she changes her mind. I observed her for the rest of my shift. She was pacing in her cell and writing on a yellow pad of paper. She was also occasionally crying. So that happens just before this first call we're going to get into. And the next incident report isn't until the 12th. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly. And yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you might want to talk about when we get there, whatever the incident report is on the 12th, because there's calls from that day.
Okay, perfect. Hold on one.
So the way that Allie and I decided that we should do these next round of calls in March is by the content of the call itself. And so I grouped these all together that way for her. But I want you guys to know that that these calls are the dates for these calls are March 8th through the 15th. And the first 9 calls were redacted. So there were 4 calls made on March 8th between 8:44 and 8:48. Now, I don't know who the caller was at 8:44. However, the second, third, and fourth ones, those are all to Harley. The fourth one is a call that actually connected, and it lasted for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. And there were calls like 5, 6, and 7 were, well, 5 and 6 were between 8:54 PM and 8:56 PM, and those were all to the same number, but not accepted. And the 7th call to the same number at 8:58 PM lasted for a minute and 3 seconds. And then on, March 9th, she called, another number that I'm not familiar with at 12:11 PM and 12:12 PM. And the reason those calls did not go through is because they were a failed, uh, voice. So whenever she has to say with Global Telling, my voice is my password. Whatever she said, wasn't it? So,
Okay.
and to talk to you that I wanted to let you guys know about that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And
Mhm.
yeah, so I made little overlays for our calls. However, um, if like it gets to where we really can't hear, or which I'll probably take them off so we can watch the closed captioning. I know for April we're probably not going to be able to do that because the way that I've recorded it, um, you can see their phone numbers, so we'll have to have an overlay up anyways. But if you want to watch closed captioning and it's not on the screen, it will be on the replay, so you can always replay, and use closed captioning. It's just for people that are here live. Hey, Ashley's World, which I think I said hi to you, but maybe I missed, I don't know, people coming in. Hey, you guys coming in. Okay, Bendy, are you ready to get into our first call?
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, hello to anybody I miss coming in. You guys enjoy the picture. This picture of Tisha had me cracking up the other night just because it. Somebody said it was a Zoolander, blue steel. Is that what it's called? I've watched Zoolander, but I wasn't familiar with the blue steel
Ye
reference. But then when I
Yeah.
started looking for things, I was seeing it all over.
Yeah, that's
Um,
Zoolander's signature pose is the blue steel.
Okay, so just prior to this screenshot, Harley puts on the screen that these are Letecia. She says these are her Kim Kardashian shades. So it just makes it even funnier. I'm sorry, but okay. Hey, teacup. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Nothing. Just finished working out.
I can hear you in the car.
Huh?
You're in the car.
Yeah.
Where'd you work out at Planet Fitness?
No, at the gym. Like the one in my body. Don't work.
Working out that hard?
Yeah, today was arm day.
Oh gosh, it's probably hard for you.
Very.
Yeah, I'm just here with all these zombies.
Hmm?
The zombies.
What do you mean?
Like the people sometimes they turn into zombies. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
It's really weird. Like they just
Hold on. I'm connecting you to my AirPods. Hold on. Okay.
it's really weird because they just like walk around and do weird stuff. Almost like they're extraterrestrial, you know?
What does that mean?
Like, they're from another planet, basically.
Huh?
Like another planet.
Oh. That's weird.
I know, and then they just do like, so like the one girl, I think she's probably from like Uther or somewhere because something's wrong with her face, and like sometimes she gets to have 3 eyes. So, but then sometimes she's soft. So,
Yeah. True.
you know, the code is like 11,000. Yeah, 11,000 codes. Yeah. Right. Well, I just tried to call you today to tell you I love you so much. And, I hope you can get the thing fixed so I can see you because they came now just to work on it because I need to see like somebody real that I know, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna do it.
he can
I'm doing it. Okay. I'm gonna do it today when I get back.
don't forget. Too many zombies here. I need help with that, you know.
Yeah.
I need you to get Amy's address for me for the next time I call because I can't send it her later because I forgot to ask her on the phone the address, but she's at work like at school now.
Uh-huh.
So if you could get it,
Okay, I will.
I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay. Thank you for dropping Amber's link. And also, can one of the mods get the link to something to talk about to Broken Justice channel? Just because I don't think it's in my Nightbot, and I wanted to drop it. Just because she had come when you guys come in here. Sometimes I like to drop your links, but okay. Oh, Bendy, just another call of complete BS that really pisses me off because Harley has to hear that this is what she hears from her mom. This is what she gets.
Now, what I will tell you guys is that zombies are going to be a prevailing theme throughout these calls. And I'm going to also warn everybody, brace yourselves. This particular batch of calls that we're going to go over on Allie's channel tonight, and then whenever we do it on my channel next, is very Amy L. Harley centric. Those are like the only two people that are calling her within this time period. So it's a lot. Just so you know.
Yeah. Zombies, and the only other note I took was when she was talking about something wrong with her face and the 3 eyes. I mean, I could hardly even make out what she was saying, and honestly, it's just really disappointing because just think about Harley. She has no dad. She no longer has a stepdad. Aunt Brenda gives her hell about everything she does, what she wears, who she talks to, everything. And then she gets a quick phone call with her mom, and it's complete bullshit. It's just so wrong. I don't know.
It's weird because it's like Letecia has this need to. Okay, I would understand venting to your daughter. I'm very, very close to my girls, and the older they become, the more I share with them, it changes. Your relationship with your daughter evolves as they get older and as you get older, and it moves from, there will always be my children, but we have moved into more of a friendship now, right? I mean, I've had a friendship with my oldest for a long time because she's 7 years older than little mini Bendy. I don't want to make this about me, but it makes me sad that she's choosing to confide in Harley, but what she's choosing to confide is utter BS. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
problem. Like, I could understand her saying, I need to see people that I actually know. I need to see, I need to see my daughter. That I actually can understand that. But it's this other layer of, zombies and people having three eyes and Chinese waterboarding and all the other mumbo jumbo that she throws in that is, so difficult to hear her say to Harley.
Yeah, it is. Hey, Tiff. It's really frustrating. Look at my next title card. So it's so blurry because it's from that interview. But I grabbed it from the meme contest, and somebody had put this in the contest with, I measured my window. It's this big.
Oh my gosh. I did see
And
somebody ask in the chat. I am okay. I just I was deep in thought whenever the call ended. And so I came out a little like, but I'm just trying to be very cognizant. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Allie knows this. I've gotten not on my channel as much, but other places have been quite negative about me. And I'm trying to be careful about not making things about myself, like giving personal stories so that people know that why I talk the way I talk or why I've come to this conclusion, and not interrupting Allie. So I'm trying.
well, you know what? It's hard to, for one, constructive criticism is one thing, and that can be really hard to take even when it is constructive. But it's another thing to how nasty some places have been, and that's just the truth. And I just want you to know that I love and enjoy you so much, and I love even when you do bring it back to you with things that you've been in. I mean, what are we supposed to do? You're talking about things that things you've experienced, and trying to relate that in a way to what we're talking about, which everyone does that when they watch. And oftentimes that's what draws us to these cases, right? Because we see an aspect of ourselves in it, of our lives, of our kids, whatever. So I just want you to know that I don't care if you interrupt me, because I know the delay's probably my fault anyway. And not only that, I always love to. So
Actually, I think I have this delay thing figured out. I think now that you have your new internet, when we are both on the computer, there is no delay. I think the delay comes when one of us is on the computer and one of us is on our phone. There's some kind of disconnect between StreamYard on your phone and StreamYard on like a laptop or whatever. Oh,
yeah.
Lucia, because okay, when I was covering the Sarah Boone case, like some of the stuff that Sarah Boone was doing, and about the suitcase, and I have a suitcase that's the same size, and I was talking about, I'm flexible, I can bend, and Melissa Jade is the one that started calling me Bindi, and then it just stuck. So.
Yep, it's stuck it's stuck, and I love it. It's been that way ever since. And so many people just giving you amazing, all
I
the love
see
in the
that.
chat.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Iffy, I am happy that you're here. And then also, I wanted to read this. So, something to talk about says it's abuse, total abuse. And it seems to me like I can't see her face, but if I could, I would think she would be smiling. But she's doing this. I just don't understand it either. And that was a big theme in that short video I posted the other day, where we got the sneak peek of that one April call. A lot of people in the comments were saying, this is abuse. This is absolutely abuse. And I don't disagree,
It is. And it is abuse. And one thing that I find particularly interesting about these calls with Harley, especially, is that the letter by this time is out. The letter that she wrote to the judge, it's been made public. And up until this point, it hasn't been addressed by Harley or her mom. It's not Harley's job, in my opinion, to address it with her mother. It's her mother's job to address it with her. But I don't think that, I don't know, because I haven't listened to all the March calls yet. But up until I'm all the way to the 13th of listening to calls, and I don't recall it being mentioned. So,
Well, I remember something in the article when I pulled it up. We would have to double check to be sure, but it was
mhm.
unsealed. So they sealed it at first, but it was unsealed in March of 2021, but I don't know the exact date. So I'm curious of that exact date where they unsealed that.
Yes. 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 Yes.
But okay, so
Interesting.
our next Amy Lang, which I had to do the close up because the hair. I mean, I'm sorry, but anyways,
But you
um,
see her hair, you guys, you see how she already, if you look at the zoomed in picture, there's like a weird chunk of scalp that you can see. I think that she just has a very unique pattern of hair growth. And so that X, I don't know. I don't know. I keep
see,
trying to
I think
rationalize that dadgum eggshell, and I just cannot.
I love you, but I'm dead set. Like, I can't change my mind now. I feel like with the Tisha X and everything else,
I keep
that it
trying
was
to
probably
rationalize that fuckery, and it cannot be rationalized.
no, it cannot. That is funny. Okay, are you ready for our
I
next call?
am. This one's a long one,
Okay.
so be prepared.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
you guys. So be prepared. Let me see. I will actually take our title card off. Well, I think, yeah, and that way we can use the closed captioning and we'll just laugh at those before we get into each one. Because the
Yes.
rest are, you guys might get a kick out of the rest. I have a feeling you will. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, hey, what's up?
Struggling, you know.
I was wondering about you. I was thinking about you like not too long ago, actually. So I was like, I haven't heard from her yesterday. I hope she's doing all right because I know you weren't doing too well on Sunday.
No, not like these
What's
people
going?
keep coming that are these zombies, and like I keep trying to tell them like I don't want to have anything to do with like the zombie people because it's kind of like extraterrestrial, like from another planet, like that type of thing. It just drives me crazy, you know.
Like, what exactly is like? What are they doing? Like, what? You told me a little bit about it, but
They just walk and like do these like turn moves and walk again and do more turn moves, and then these people are in my head and they keep telling me to just die until this is over, and then when this is over, they'll bring me back to life.
you can't do that because that's not how that works, unfortunately.
But here's the thing: like I have like failed, like bringing people back to life. I failed,
Yeah.
and I've tried and tried, because like it can happen. There's a lot of
I believe
stories of
it.
it happening because like one of the people, like, I don't know if you know Andy Womack, but his son died and he was dead for 5 hours. And so he like kind of went around and started like praying and trying to raise him because like there's a parable in the Bible about Jairus, his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
When Jesus got there, he raised him from the dead. But then you know that scripture goes on to talk about that Jesus gave his disciples the ability to do that, and then he also passes it along to believers in Christ and people with spiritual gifts, And so, like, I've always believed that that's possible, So, like I know people can do it, and so, like, that's my thing. It's like I failed at it before, um, and now when I tried and tried for like even a couple of days to like bring the person back to life, tried, but like that doesn't mean to give up. You know what I mean? Because, like, you remember
Yeah, like
where the kid fell in the water? He died. He was brain dead for like 30 minutes. And then Melissa McCartney played that role. And then mom brought him back, but it's based on true story. So you can,
yeah.
yeah. So they're telling me to do this and then just bring my own self back. And if I bring myself back first, then I could bring other people back. But I don't know how long they could be dead before I could bring them back. And so I'm telling them just stop this in my head, like to get out of my room, out of my head.
So my thought process and all of that, right, is like I believe in that kind of stuff too. Only because I've heard stories and I've seen some stuff in my own life that makes me believe in these types of things. But my concern is that with everything that you're going through, it's not necessarily what they're telling you may not be the truth in this particular instance, you know, because it seems like there's so much negativity going on.
Yeah.
And this might be, you know, more of it. I know on Sunday, I talked to my sister. She's a very spiritual person, like probably one of the most spiritual people I've met. And I didn't tell her, you know, anything really about you in detail. I just messaged her and I was like, hey, you know, a good friend of mine is really struggling with some stuff in her personal life. Like, I need you to kind of, you know, do your thing. So she and I kind of got together and we said a little bit of a prayer for you. But I kind of feel like there's a lot of, like, this makes sense, like spiritual darkness surrounding you right now. And that's what concerns me, because even though what they're saying may be the truth, I don't think that would end up working out the way they're saying it would in this instance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was freaking out yesterday because I was telling everybody that Jesus had left me yesterday because so much demonic presence has been going on. Like, I'm not really eating again and I'm not really sleeping again. And the deputy that was here, not the zombie, but the deputy, she was like, "You got bags under your eyes. Are you okay? Do you need to talk to mental health?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to talk to mental health." I said, "They don't help me, so that's pointless." And she was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was trying to tell her about my plan, and she was like, "I'm gonna call mental health." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna talk to them if you call them." And I was just telling her I felt like it's just I'm going so much more stir crazy, but it's getting beyond stir crazy at this point. You know?
Yeah, we have to think too, like, you know, given the situation you're in and then the recent turn of events with, you know, you getting all your paperwork and having to go through all of it, that's just going to amplify the amount of stress and anxiety and all the things that you were feeling tenfold. So things are going to feel a lot more drastic than they did before.
Like, I don't really believe sometimes that some of this stuff is like even real. Like, I'd be waiting for, people to pop out cameras and like say, hey, like, you've been on this show and this is, to test your faith in the Lord and, like that type of thing. And I just keep thinking that that's going to happen. That's why I thought that lady that came that time, that was the one doctor. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't, that's why I didn't try to work with her because she came with cameras and I was telling her she was an actress and she was just like, whatever. And so, yeah. And so she was telling me that, she was friends with the DA and that was her buddy and all this stuff, whatever. And so, like, I would make sarcastic comments because, like, she was like, I thought it was a joke. Like, it was like cameras coming out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just kept telling her that, and she was just looking at me like, whatever, whatever. But I told her, I said, when I come out of where I'm at all day, I just start, everything looks so weird. Like, the people look weird outside of my show. Everything looks weird. Like, even walking feels weird. I walked outside to get fresh air, and it felt weird. And then we almost slipped on the thing because I asked him could I go outside, and he said yeah. And like the man grabbed me to make sure I wasn't falling. It felt weird touching me, and I was like freaking out. I thought my arm was gonna fall off, and like I don't like being like this. I feel like if I had maybe like a radio, like they took the newspapers from us because most people can pull up the news on the tablet, but they took the newspaper from us. But like, and so like I don't even get to read anything going on in the world. So I just be sitting here thinking like this is part of this game, like they got to be coming out soon and quit telling me that this is real. Like there's people hiding somewhere. And I don't know. I haven't got any of the paperwork yet, so I still don't even believe a lot of stuff because I'm just like this. I've been in so much shock for the longest time that my brain was so many places. Like I was talking yesterday because I got to talk to E, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you do realize that you like threw up all over the place. You wouldn't talk to me. You wouldn't say nothing. You were in a daze. And I was just like, I don't remember all that. It was like I had some sort of disoriented view, like I disassociated.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He could tell me that, it was raining cats and dogs, and I would have been like, okay, well, I don't remember. I don't know if he say so. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to explain this to him. I'm like, I'm really going through it. Yeah.
Well, they say during like extreme bouts of trauma, whether it's like physical or mental or a combination of the two, that your mind will start to omit a lot of what happened. And that's, I've learned to be very true, because a lot of the like more traumatic things that I've experienced in my life, I remember like key details, but not everything. Someone can recite it to me, and I'll be like, I don't remember half of that. So it's probably
Or
what
you
you're
don't
experiencing
even
on.
know if they're telling you that. You know,
Yeah,
he could be telling me what he wants me to say, and I have no idea. Some days, like I don't know, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, whatever you tell me, I guess. You know, I trust you. I guess I trust you.
is he somebody that you can? Well, is he somebody that you can trust? Like, if he were to tell you of an event that happened that you don't necessarily recall, do you believe that he would, recite it to you the way it actually happened, or some like a twist on it that would suit him?
Not really, because one time when they kidnapped us, well, I call it kidnap, but really they kidnapped us. But
You have 60 seconds remaining.
there was some stuff going on, and we had to stay in a tent for 3 days in Mexico. And like, I just swear, I was just like, I was so terrified because I thought people were gonna kill us and stuff like that. And I remember asking him later, like, "Hey, what happened?" And he told me, and I was like, "I don't remember any of that." But I mean, I took him for his word. So like, my thing is, he was lived that lifestyle where he's able to adjust things. He saw so much and been in so much and had to be the leader. I don't know. He could be telling me God knows what sometimes, you know. And then, but I,
Well, I hope that he's actually. Yeah, I hope that he's somebody that's actually telling you the truth because he cares about you and not spinning things in his favor.
yeah. But I know
He's
what
got
I
to be
know what I
cautious.
can see, like what I can see on it, you know, on the videos and images. I know, but like once I'm just sitting there like in shock. Like I'm like, hey, E, fill in the gaps. What happened after this? And he's just like, well, I think there's something you need to.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
Hey,
Okay, cray cray. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Oh my gosh, Bendy. Okay, so first of all, you guys that are confused about E, he is both real and there's a couple E's. So that's the thing. There is, her friend in the jail, but we also have Eduardo from her version of events. But E, she has made friends in the jail with men through toilet talking. So, but it's just we're at this point. I think we do need like some kind of graph or something like that.
You need a visual aid.
Yes.
Okay. I could probably swing that. She's definitely talking.
No, go ahead, Bendy. I got
I'm
notes,
trying
so
to
I won't.
think. You go ahead. Let me think this one out for a minute. I need a moment, please.
Okay, well, while you do that, then I'm going to take us back to the beginning of that call and where she talks about bringing people back to life and how she's tried before, but she's failed. And if you guys remember, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I'm thinking it came out during Grusing's testimony that she at one point was saying like there was something about bringing Gannon back to life. It's something about his grandparents' farm, and oh gosh,
Yes,
it's
you're
all
right.
there's so much.
You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
so
You're
yeah,
absolutely
and
right. Yes.
I find that so interesting that now it's coming out in her calls like this. Like, and I think she's probably purposefully doing that, but I don't know. But do you guys remember that? And then, yeah, you said, is she talking about Lazarus? Crime Crochet and Coiffé is also, yep, we heard all about it, Melissa. That's what I was thinking. It's just, yeah, my memory didn't, there's so much. So I just find it interesting. I think that's probably on purpose and intentional so that she can try to, at least, even though her stories don't make sense, like, so she can make it appear as if at least they're consistent, at least to a degree. I mean, I feel crazy even saying that about her stories, but and then also I found it interesting that she goes into talking about shock in that. Do you remember that was one of her Google searches? And many people were curious, who was in shock? Was it her? Was she trying to emulate what someone would look like in shock? Did someone else see what she did and maybe they were in shock? I don't know. There's a lot of theories and stuff. I'm sure. I don't know actually what she meant, but I know that she Googled something about like, how does somebody appear when they're in shock? But I don't
Yes.
remember the exact words that she used. But
Yeah, it was something.
so that's
along
really
those
the main
lines.
two takeaways for me. What about you, Bendy?
Well, I have to say that, I know that I myself have been a little critical of Amy and the way that she handles herself. However, I want you guys I will say that it starts with this call and then it progresses through the rest of the calls we're going to hear tonight. Um, Amy is walking a very fine line, and I found this to be fascinating, quite honestly. She's walking a very fine line between listening and feeding into the delusions or lies, whichever they are, and actually giving her sage advice. For example, her saying that, I don't think you should do that. It doesn't really work out. And trying to, tell her that, listen, you're under a lot of stress. And the fact of the matter is, she's not wrong, regardless of guilt or innocence. The fact is, Letecia is under a tremendous amount of stress. And she is, in her way, trying to. It's very difficult for me to say this with that picture on the screen, but in her way, she's trying to be the voice of reason. And, that's not easy to do when you're talking to somebody like Letecia. And I mean, I can imagine that is probably one of the looks that she had on her face hearing this story. And the thing about this E person, okay, this person is in Leticia's mind is somebody that she's actually spent time with. She talks about camping not camping. They were staying in a tent in Mexico. She's going to get more into that particular situation in a call that's coming up. But just remember what she said in this one.
Okay. And Lil Red has sent us a picture of E. So I'll grab that whenever you just let
Okay.
me know where you sent it, like text, email, wherever. And then Tracy had a question I was going to answer. She said, what actually happened to Harley's father? So Harley's father overdosed, but Harley was told for most of her life up until the trial that he was the victim of an armed robbery, of a break-in where he was killed that way. So it's pretty sick story. And then also, I'm glad you guys like the overlays. Melissa said, I love these overlays. I'm so glad.
Look what MK wrote.
Oh God, let me see. I had a lot of fun making them for you guys. Oh, thank you, Lou. I appreciate it. Okay. I appreciate that so much. Oh God. Thank you. MK Mount Rushmore. That's funny. And Sexy Wild Thing, Carol freaking Claus. Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That's really freaking sweet. Thank you. You guys are too good to me. I thought that was Amy next to Mount Rushmore. Okay, so our next call, let's see, let me go back to our last overlay just to double check. So our last call was on the 9th at 12:21. And then this call is the next day at 7:52 p.m.
Correct.
And
However,
Amy, again,
there are 2 redacted calls to Harley at 7:24 and 7:30 p.m. on the 10th.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
And then after this is the 12th, right? And there's another. I lied. There's another redacted call from Harley at 8:09 p.m. Okay, after the 7:24 and 7:30, and then on March 11th. There are 2 redacted Harley calls at 10:48 a.m. and 11:33 a.m. I don't know what they talked about. I don't know why the calls are now. Like I can see the calls that don't go through, where they either weren't accepted or her voice password thingy failed to verify, or whatever. Those I can see the reason for those, but when they actually went through and they're redacted, I can't see why they were left out. So and they're not long
Yeah.
calls. They're like quickies. So I don't know what they're discussing. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, still good. Thank you for the little bit of information because I like to know those little things. Hey, Meatfoot, and hey, Sarah, and all you guys coming in that I have missed. Okay, well, are you ready to get into our next Amy call?
Yes, I've only listened to these calls like 47 times. So what's 48?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Hey, I picked up the video chat. I don't know if you can hear me. Like, I can't see. It's like a gray circle with like a play button. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, just exit out of it so it hangs it up.
Okay.
It literally came on the screen and then it turned black and they just came in to fix this machine and now it's just because
Yeah, it's like,
we don't have the tablets with ours, so this machine like does its own thing. 'Cause it's not like the rest of the ones with the tablet, you know.
yeah. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if you can hear me or what. So I was like, if you can hear me, I can't see you. But I went on their website and like tried to troubleshoot why it wasn't coming up. And it said it could be like a variety of reasons, but probably more or less it's an issue with the server on their end. And when I hung up, it said they're having server issues. That's great.
Well, I wouldn't like charge. Does
Oh,
email them or something. So like, hey,
not a big deal. It's like $3. I'm not worried about it.
yeah, but I don't think I should have charged the whole $3 because we weren't on there the whole time.
Yeah, that is true. It looks like it didn't charge me, I don't think, because I had like $14 in my account, and I just clicked that I would pay for it, but it's still showing like the same balance. I don't think it charged me.
Yeah, because it won't let me use anything on mine until like the person I called don't have any. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I just call her on the phone calls on my account then. But I was going to tell you I have court on Friday.
Oh, what for?
So apparently the jail filed a motion that they don't want to give me the paperwork and they want the judge to reconsider.
Can I do that?
Mr. Cellini came today and we walked through what we're going to say and do.
So what exactly are they wanting the judge to reconsider? Like him allowing you to defend yourself, or?
Well, like they're saying paper. Like here's the thing. They have no precedent for, like, I'm sorry, no justification for why they hold me to these security measures. They try to come up with this whole thing about whatever. That whole thing stimulated from everybody talking about a movie. When I was the only one to get in trouble for it. When the rest of the people in here, they laughed at them, but singled me out because somebody wanted their name on a piece of paper. That's what they did. So like that was way 10 months ago. I don't do anything wrong. The only thing they ever write me up for is talking on the toilet. I literally, like, legit. That's what they write me up for. And so they don't write any of the inmate up in this facility for that. They don't do those things to them. The guys don't get that done. It's gender discrimination because the female deputies do way different for the females than they do the males. And then the males, they can do all these other things. If they don't want their hour out or they can't get their hour out, they can sell their hour out for a tray. Or they get to have a TV in their ward in their Bravos, which is just like our Alphas, they get a TV. But we don't get one in this ward. You know, like all the other people have all these tablets. We don't even have a newspaper anymore to look at, you know? So they do all these things and we're pre-trial people and you know, it's not right. Like we're social people. You don't hold people down like that when they know, you know, it's the outside world and now you're saying no paper. What do you think I'm gonna do with it? And then Tellini was like, he said in the past people have made paper machetes or something. I'm like, are you freaking serious? I have no adult record. I don't have a violent history. What the heck am I going to do with paper?
So even if that were the case, right? Could you not make something out of paper with like the letters you give people in the mail? Like, what's any different?
Which are sharper. Like, are you kidding me?
That's a really weak argument, and I'm pretty sure the judge will see right through that because he's the one that like granted you permission to have the paper documents anyways. So like,
and then
I'm not sure what.
So check this out.
Okay.
They came to take me to the library the other night. And I told them, I said, hey, that box is not there. That's supposed to be there with the hard drive. So I was like, you know, it's not there yet. So what do you want me to do? And then the lady was like, well, you can just go and, you know, get familiar with the place or whatever. It was like 2:30 in the morning. I said, okay, cool. And I said, hey, are they going to take the restraints off me when I get there, or how am I going to use my hands? And she was like, no, unfortunately, this is her exact words. She goes, unfortunately, you might have won on that end with the judge with the paperwork, but this is our facility. And I was like,
What the heck?
how am I going to use my hands? You just telling me basically that a disabled person, if they didn't have any arms, are you going to not do the same to them? You're going to send them to law library? Like, you don't have anything to do these things to me, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the worst I do is talk on the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, how are you supposed to maneuver your way around, like, while you're in there? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it's just their backdoor way of adding more problems, to the thing or whatever. So we have a plan for it, but it's stupid. It's like they have inmates here with the same charges or similar. And then these same inmates get 3 hours out, 6 hours out. Some of these same inmates have all these assault charges, assault and deputies. I watched this one girl in here. She beat the deputy up inside the shower. Now I'm trying to say beat her up. She was only on restraint for 30 days. Okay. He has several assault charges, attempted murder charges, like has a history of violence, has been out of jail for 10 years. Then you got all these people. There's this girl in here right now. She has escaped from Concord charges. She's charges where she's popped her door open, and that's why they had to get new doors here for people that always pop their doors out and escape, like leave out their rooms and stuff. Do you have all that crap? I know. Yeah, you talk on the toilet.
One thing, and I would definitely ask your advisor, but something that you might want to mention to the judge, just to kind of bring it back to the mindset of everybody that they are treating you like somebody who's already been convicted and sentenced, and technically you've not been convicted of anything. You're still considered, what is it, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah.
Not to mention, the people at the prison get more privileges anyway, and they've been convicted.
That's what I don't get. Like, I don't understand that at all.
My friend, he just took 60 years. 60 years. Same charge. He took the deal because he did it. He walks around on the tablet for 6 hours a day. Chilling, man. Just chilling. Does his thing. Has an affiliation to the cartel. Big time affiliation. Like, actually in it. Not just, whatever. In it. Active member. Participated. Does everything with them. And they do me like this.
I would definitely try to, bring that up to the judge, and also bring up the fact if the prosecutor tries to say, well, we don't want her to have paper in her cell because she could do something with it. I would, when it's your turn to speak, to be like, well, I mean, in all reality, could I not do that with the mail that I receive or any kind of paper from books? Is like it's a possibility one way or another.
I've read 118 books in here. Like, are you serious? 118 of them. I've donated 40. Come on.
If that's going to be their only excuse or reasoning as to why they don't want you to have the paperwork, that's a really weak leg to stand on. It's annoying though. That's ridiculous. That's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And I just sit there and I'd be like, the deputies that work with me, they know. They'd be like, why would you on this stuff? I'm like, and I get it. They would want to be like, okay, hi, Chris, okay, well, I can bring it to you that there's another female in this facility with a high profile case that she's already pled guilty to, with the same type of situation where they killed some teenagers, and she just does her thing in here. Has a prior background, has whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, are you freaking kidding me? And then all the dudes that have all that. I mean, there was a girl in here with 11 assaults. And you know what? The guy told me today, he said, I know who you're talking about because I represented her. I said, yeah, she would grab the people's private parts, the male deputies. Oh, she's crazy. Yeah.
Have you always been under that kind of why?
Yeah, I don't do anything to these people. I don't disrespect them. I don't even curse here. Like, I don't even say words to people. I don't do any of that stuff. But they just, try to they think they're gonna revoke me or provoke me to do something or whatever. And I'm like, they're not. You're not gonna get that pleasure because I won't ever do it. You can't even take me to SD for talking on a toilet, and you tried to provoke me to do it. I just stood there and laughed at you and said, it's not in your handbook. Wrap me up. And it's not in their handbook.
I was I was looking online the other day, like, you know, every state has different laws for like solitary confinement rules and things like that. I read out in Colorado, like, they passed a law in 2017 that no one is supposed to be in solitary confinement for longer than 15 days at a time.
They said that, so he can loop or past that. And what the jail was doing, they're turning it, saying it doesn't apply to jails, it only applies to prisons. That's what they're doing.
Damn it.
Other jails don't do that. So, like, all these people that have been in here and been in the system, they talk to me about other jails. They talk to me about when they got put on lockdown at other jails. They gave me the name of the county. I've written all down. I kept up with it. What county did this, whatever. I actually have the inmates that have given me their names to me. I had the guys up there give me the names. They gave me the names of all the inmates that had assault on police officer charges, had charges that were like mine, as many as they could come up with. You know what I mean? I got all the names written down so I can have it to show, like, here's this, and I'm not gonna be able to show that Friday, but my point being, for future, I will get to show that. And so I have all that. This one dude has 18 write-ups, and he's running around upstairs in Charlie. Got 3 hours out, beat on the tablets for 2 and 3 hours, orders his commissary, does his thing, and all that. And he also has took a deal for the big. He's got what they call the big bitch share. Yeah, took a deal for it. Means he gets his time times 3 because he's a repeat offender. Because he's a repeat offender, and just doing his thing, you know. So I wrote all that down, and I'm like, you can't base it on high profile case. You got several of those in here, you know. But at the same time, when they were in here, they weren't done those same ways. And then on top of that, you don't get me on those things that you get them on. If you check my cell, you do whatever. You know how crazy. Well, I told you they had to write me up for freaking the daily bread. That's how bad they can't get me. The daily bread. When you delivered it to me, you gave me the daily bread. You brought it to me from the mailroom.
Yeah, that's some BS. Like that. I mean, it seems to me like they have a target on your back, and it's not fair to you at all. Because, like you said, there's people that have already been sentenced or who have pled, you know, one way or another, that have more rights and privileges than what you have in your pre-trial.
So there was a girl that had did the same thing too. Well, they did it to her because she was affiliated with the guy, and it actually was a Supreme Court case. And so they did her the same way, kept, you know, screwing through, whatever. It cost her a bunch of mental disturbances. It cost her a lot of whatever. The Supreme Court overturned her case and said, hey, you basically put this person, you backed this person in the corner. You didn't give them this, you didn't give them due process, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you know, based on how they were treating her while they were holding her as an inmate. You know, so
I can see. I mean, it makes sense. Like,
I have that printed out, and I have that. Sweeney brought that to me today, and I read over the court opinion. I read over the dissent. I read over the concurs, and I went through all of it. You know, so I'm just keeping up with all of it. You know, trying a little bit at a time. I keep my patience because I got Jesus Christ, and that's one thing they will never be able to take away from me. So every day I'm in the Word, doing my thing, and they'll never take that away from me. That's why they don't get what they want. They want to provoke me. They don't get that because, you know, I'm in the flesh and we're weak, but I'm not that weak because Jesus will come in immediately and take over. So I'm not that weak. They won't get me with that. So I just
you're so right, and the more patient. I said you're so right, and the more patient and like understanding you are, like the more it's going to bother them. Because I think they're trying to get a rise out of you to like make it look like what they said or what they think about you is going to be true. Like if you don't give them that rise, that's just going to make them like piss them off even more.
Oh yeah, and so they have the inmate class who they let run this place, this is a dictatorship instead of, you know, operating like a democracy. Here it's a dictatorship. They let this one lady run everything there, make all these decisions, and you know they do that, but then they don't have anything to base this on.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And then they come up at court and use this, whatever he was talking about. First of all, you charged me with that. I haven't even been convicted of it, so you can't accuse me of doing that because it's not even what happened. And he already wrote a letter stating she only done that to get commissary money on her book. Because they ended up putting money in her book to bonding her out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they sure into that. But anyway, did you get any letters yet or no?
Yes. Okay, so I got them today.
Okay.
And we have a video chat tomorrow, like
Yeah.
1:15 my time. So I can kind of talk to you more about them. I have to go out tomorrow and get stamps.
Okay.
So when my daughter gets out of school, we're gonna shoot up by the post office and grab some stamps real quick. Yeah, I just got them today.
Okay, cool. I sent more, and then I replied to a bunch of stuff that we talked about, and I probably sent like 3 or 4. I was going crazy. I've been crazy the last few days. I've been writing it up, going crazy, like legit, just losing my mind. I thought there were zombies and people, and I was just losing it. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you for using Global Telly.
Okay. Oh God, before we get into it, I just want to say I put overlays up while we were on. I don't know if you guys saw, in case you're listening and not watching. First, I put up the overlay. So remember, I mentioned this yesterday, and I did not realize it was the jail who filed this motion. She claims on this call. I'd have to go look at it to double check to say 100%. Here is the motion that was filed on the 12th to reconsider the court's order to allow defendant to have paper copies of discovery in her cell. And there were several other things filed that day as well. You can see there. And then Lil Red sent us this picture.
Wow.
Which was funny, which I took a few notes, but you want to go first? You got anything you want to say? And then also I did pull up this is actually the real
Edwin.
E. Yeah, this is the real E, Edwin Figueroa here. So, but yeah, I got some notes in the private chat. I'm sure you've seen, but what do you think, Mindy? Anything
Well, it's very difficult for me to understand what this salient legal argument that she's making when she's citing cases and the details are yada yada yada, whatever. How does that apply to you, Tisha? I can't understand it. I personally think this is the deal with her having the paper in her cell. First and foremost, Letecia, even if she were not a high profile case, so let's just take that off the table. Let's take it from the very beginning. Ma'am, you assaulted an officer during transport with a can of Monster Energy drink, not an empty can, a full can. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Miss
have
Nonviolent.
been correct. Because to an extent, she is Amy, and Amy is correct. I can't even believe I'm saying this. To an extent, Amy is correct. Letecia is pretrial. She has the presumption of innocence at this point. Now, we all know how the story ends, but at this point, she does have the presumption of innocence. I think that the deal with the paper is this. First and foremost, she is a violent offender. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap what she says. Even if her charges were something else, at the end of the day, you assaulted. It takes a lot of something to, while you're in transport, in handcuffs, in a car with armed officers, to use anything for a weapon. That takes something. So now they're worried about that. On top of which, Tisha Lynn, baby, you've been written up like 11 billion times for flooding your toilet, for toilet talking, all of the things. This is why they don't want you to have additional paper in there. Also, remember what she's charged with. I think their other concern would be other inmates getting a hold of what she's charged with, or and just some people have, proclivities, or she does the toilet talking and she's reading what she did to other inmates with proclivities. I think that is why they are against her having paper copies in her cell. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know
it's jail, for God's sake.
Exactly.
Not
and I don't know.
God.
Right. You're not at camp, ma'am. I don't understand what the BFD is in the first place, because Letecia has stated multiple times that she has no intention of following through with representing herself. So what do you need paper copies for, ma'am?
Yeah.
Stop
Oh my
playing
God, Jen, the
games.
chat. The chat is freaking killing me. They are hilarious. Claus, MK, Skylab, everybody actually. Skylab says "Ho de toilet," and like I don't know how to
Hold
say
it,
it, the perfume.
hold
Yeah,
it
and then
for that. Oh, she French.
and then she said MK said he's her little poo thing. Like they're killing me. And Claus, everybody, they're just so silly. You guys are, the chat is so lit. I'm serious. It is
This is
funny.
how we get through these cases because, I mean, look, this all we listened to right now was literally like what 13 minutes of nonsense. You know, we didn't if we
Yeah.
didn't have the comments from the chat. Like, can you imagine?
Yes. Oh, okay. Also, Jen,
Yes.
Amy has $14 in her bank account and she's spending money on Letecia and jail stuff. Like, I don't know. That's a little,
I would not
I
be
don't know.
contacting her for financial advice.
No. And then let's see. I just said the getting in trouble all the time. Okay, so when she says my friend just took 60 years, remember we were trying to see how Edwin's situation actually ended, and we weren't able to find that. So that just, that makes me curious if that's him she's referring to. And then when Amy says the more patient you are, the more it's going to bother them. Like, are they talking about the jail staff? Because that's the way I took it. And it's like, no, if she's more, they want her to just be calm and stop the nonsense. Like,
Correct.
oh my God.
Yeah. They just basically want her to calm the fuck down and just act right and let's get through this. That's pretty much all the jail staff want. And the court doesn't, I mean, look, she's got some serious charges, but Judge Werner is an incredibly fair judge. And I think that he is trying to weigh Leticia's right to represent herself, because she absolutely does have that right, with the security at the jail. And the fact of the matter is, Letecia doesn't take accountability for anything. And so here she is blowing a bunch of smoke. And again, I have to remind, I don't know why I feel like I need to remind people, because I think we all know, and I don't know why I need to be Captain Obvious, but Letecia is, think about what she's telling Amy, because, and how they met. This isn't like Amy and her don't go way back. Okay. They weren't even Facebook friends. Amy and Letecia met after all of this. And so this mistreatment and stuff, I firmly believe that Leticia's intentions are to tell Amy all of this so that Amy will convey this to the public.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. I completely agree. Yeah, he my little poo thing. I don't really care what you do thing. It's got that song in my head. But
I haven't
okay,
heard
so
that song in a long time. Damn, Allie.
this overlay is not the funniest one. So the last two, though, I have a little treat for you guys. I grabbed them from the meme competition and just made them into our overlays. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. This one I used because, Albert had said, and this has been pointed out to me numerous times, that Albert had said how beautiful Tisha was before all of this. Many people have said that. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is Tisha before all of this. This is high school Tisha. So there you go. And again, we have Amy yet again, the same day, March the 12th. Oh, wait, was our last one the 12th? Yeah. No, the last one was the 10th. So here's our first one. So the next three are the 12th.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. And he's what?
He's not wrong. Leticia's not a bad looking woman. Okay. But again, Tisha Lynn, you got to be on. Listen, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time, and you can't fool yourself. Okay. Everybody, but most especially you, knows that you have not lost so much weight that you can put your thumb and your middle finger around your wrist and go all the way up to your arm to your elbow. Okay. They're monitoring you, ma'am, for your food issues. Okay. We see the kites, we see the reports. Okay. Stop playing with people. All right. Miss,
Yeah.
I'm eating. I'll just be taking the cookies off the tray. Thank you very much.
Yeah. um, Honey, thank you for being a member 2 months. She says, thank you for this chat. Very, very funny today. You guys you're killing me. Even Queen Bella, look, that is when she had eyebrows, Tisha. I'm sorry.
Have you
Let's
guys?
bang
I
her.
have something for you guys to look up. Okay. It's an old one. This is old YouTube. It's called Chola Makeup Tutorial. Okay. Look it up. It's the best thing ever, especially when she talks about the eyebrows. Just watch. It's the best thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen. And it's an old one. If it's like from, I don't know, 2015 or more, I'll look it up and tell you which one it is. I'll even put it in the chat because it's hilarious. But every time
um,
Tisha talks, sometimes I want to be, and when we talk about her eyebrows, it reminds me of the Chola makeup tutorial.
oh,
Let me
I don't
find
think
it
I've
for
seen it.
you
I
guys.
put it
Oh,
in
I'm
the
going to put
Discord.
it in the chat. I got you. Don't you worry.
Thank you. And then
You're
Teacup
welcome.
said, and you're right, Teacup. They did say she had small wrists in one of the reports. Okay, so I want to get through this call because I can't wait for you guys to see the last two overlays. So are you ready, Bendy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go. More with Mrs. Lang.
Here we go.
Link.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just sitting and watching Scrubs. My husband, what are you doing?
Oh, with the husband, what's the husband? I didn't say husband. Oh, God, we don't necessarily disorder. My speech is like,
I was gonna ask, how did you had your hearing today, right?
yeah, you didn't watch?
No, I could, okay, because I looked online to see if I could find it, and I couldn't see it on, like, they have, like, all the documents online.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything on it, so I didn't know if it was WebEx or not.
Yeah. No, well, I think people on WebEx, but yeah, I went there. I had to like cross-examine the commander of the jail. So I just asked him a few questions, and so then I didn't call him out on the whole inmate thing, how all these other inmates have this, and this. I'm preparing some on that, and then we'll file a motion on that later. So I didn't call him out on that, but I did. But it was good though because the guy asked. The guy was like, "Oh, is because of her behavior the reason she stayed here?" And he was like, "No, that was just determined by before she got here." But I was glad he said that because I was just waiting. I was sitting there like, if he says that, I'm going to be like, "Excuse me." But then I asked him why he was in jail. Oh, I said, "Are you aware of the reason I wasn't allowed to go to the law library?" And he said he wasn't aware.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so then I told him, and then so then the judge was like, "You mean to tell me she has to be restrained to use the computer?" And then he was like, "Oh no, no, no." So,
Dang, I wish I would have known that, like, I could have gotten on the WebEx, because I would have watched. I was wondering.
yeah, I think they might not tell him a lot because I think he'll probably be doing some shady stuff, and I'll be letting him know because he was under oath and was like, no, he wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I was wondering it too because of how quickly they, like, set that hearing up and everything, whether or not it was going to be made public, because I didn't see anything, online about what time it was going to be or anything.
Well, and then too, on top of that, when I stood up and said I was being prevented prior to talking to my attorneys, he had the attorney say that he wasn't aware of any of that, or that didn't happen, but it did, and I have like proof of it because like the investigator tried to come one time and he was denied. Attorneys tried to come and they were told I was in court, like all kinds of stuff. And then I'd get to a video visit and it was supposed to be 50 minutes long on WebEx, and I'd get there were like 10 minutes left or 20 minutes left, and they wouldn't reset it. They wouldn't give me the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we documented all that, and then I'd write it down. I'd write who was the cop that took me and stuff like that. So he might not be, aware of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Did he tell them, like, tough luck, that he's going to go ahead and let you get that paperwork in your cell, or?
Yeah. He went and got a realm of paper from his office or from the copy room and brought it back. I was like, okay, study, can 4 of these fit in that box that she's getting? They were like, yeah. Because, see, I had it ready to go, like, well, I already had, like, 4 court cases, Supreme Court cases that went Florida versus California. I had Built versus Morris. I had all them ready for if the deal was trying to say I couldn't get them. But then they didn't even say that, actually. They kind of didn't really, they, like, backed out of it and was like, oh, well, we just wanted to be heard. You know?
Huh. Yeah.
So they didn't ask to reconsider. They just kept saying reconsider, but then they were like beyond 18. I've already went through half of it, and I already went through like 600 or 700 pages, and it's like I would say six of the 700 are like completely irrelevant.
Really?
Yeah, it was like take a piece of paper and throw it, like waste period. Get rid of that. Race another tree. I mean, it was so funny. One thing I could tell you this because then I do my case, but it was so funny. One report was talking about people were chasing these Mexicans through the neighborhood.
Wait, what?
Apparently, like, the Mexicans just saw the cops, and, like, you know, the cops were just doing a search, and the Mexicans just start running through the neighborhood.
Oh, no. Wait, was that in your paperwork? Or?
Yeah. Well, I could tell what they were doing. They were probably trying to find where Edgar was at, because he was, like, hanging out near the house.
I probably, given the situation, like, it's not funny, but had I read that, I probably would have, like, busted out.
Yeah, no, I'd laugh at it now. Obviously I wouldn't have been then, but, like, I'd laugh at it now because I'm just sitting there reading the paper, like, I could be more I'm better mentally in the terms of, because I know I got him beat.
Yeah.
Stuff. And then, so then it's like, and plus two, I've already given it to God and my soul is well with that part. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the part of being a Christian and growing closer to Christ is that, yeah, some days you're going to have hard days because you're in the flesh. But then if you truly, are putting all your faith and trust in Him and knowing He's got it, then you can't go through these days being, like whatever, you got to keep trying to push through, And so I was telling the girl upstairs earlier, I said, I got him. I was like, so I'm just going to sit here for the next ever how many months and just get, because he told me how you have to do that is you don't have to even give it to him the 35 days. You just have to write like witnesses the 35 days before trial. And what you can do is you can just say like Apple representative, and you could hire an Apple representative that could introduce it. Or you could hire, or somebody in the video could introduce it. But it's probably better to do like an Apple person or like a technology person or something like that. And you just put them on the witness list, and you don't have to you don't have to give them. You don't have to give it to anybody. You just put them on the witness list, and then they introduce it. I was like, so basically, you're saying like I wouldn't introduce it into it like right at the dinner trial. He's like, yep.
This is crazy because like. So I told my husband about it. Like I told him that you had to go to court today.
Yeah.
And I tried looking it up last night, and nothing came up about it. Like the only thing that came up on the news was like, the most recent hearing prior to the one today. And then I looked it up again today at like, I don't know, 4:00 my time.
Yeah.
Nothing came up. Well, I just typed in your name at Google, and it just popped up all the articles from today. Like they're really short, but like now it's coming up.
Oh, the articles from today.
Yeah, they're all like really short, just basically saying that, the judge said that you had to have access to that paperwork amid security concerns.
I know. I was sitting there laughing at these security shit. I was sitting there like thinking, because I looked at the attorney and I go, there's this one dude. I said, I'm not going to say his name. I said, well, he has a similar person to mine. I said, he even stole a cop car. He goes, he looks at me, he goes, yeah, he stole a cop car, ran away, put him in the high speed chase, has been in fights the whole time he's been in jail. I said, yep. Has civil assault, beat hell out of people, and gangster. I said, yep. I said, guess what? He walks around with his cans of soup every day, eating, chilling. I was like, I wasn't even calling these people out yet. We talked about that, and he was like, no, we're just going to wait. He was like, don't ask but a few questions. Keep it minimal right now. Basically, you like save all, like you just keep building up a little bit at a time instead of just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I only asked a couple of questions. I asked him, did he know how big the box was? And I asked him, would he discriminate against the DUI pro se, or high profile pro se? If you discriminate against them, be a pro se. And he blamed it on inmate class, which I'm glad that was on record because according to the Supreme Court case, you can't, it doesn't matter what kind of case it is. The per se is per se, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you're per se for. It's you got the same constitutional rights. It doesn't say, the Sixth Amendment was self-representation based on Florida versus California. So it doesn't say unless you have this type of case. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I looked up, after we talked last time, I looked up the thing that you told me about the lady who had her case sent to the Supreme Court overturned.
Yeah.
We're trying to compare, like, the differences or similarities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, based off what I read about her story, like, they're giving you so much shit. Like, if you my friend, it's just insane. Like, it seems like today's hearing was pointless.
It was. I was sitting there unclear, like, didn't we just already do all this? Like, we did this last year. The only thing to change is who is going to bring discovered, which was fine because they let the DA investigators come in to submit under and bring me all the discovery. Or at least, I say all of it. They brought me the paperwork. So that was fine. I mean, whatever. I mean, as long as I'm getting it in my hand, I'm not signing for something for you to go take it and run away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I did the first time. They took it overnight.
Yeah, so that's how I stood back up in the end and asked him. I said, I just want to be I just want to be sure, George, you're saying that I'm getting it, signing it, and it's actually like coming to my box. So they
yeah, because I was telling my husband about that. Like, I don't tell him everything, but I was like, get this. Like, she got access to the paperwork, and like the first day that she gets it, the jail held it overnight. I'm like, now why do you think they would do that? And he's like, do you think I went through it? And I'm like, absolutely, I do. Like, why else would they keep it?
I'm telling you, if they went through it, they saw a bunch of crap. Nonsense. And I just sit there and be like, wow, did we really waste tax dollars doing this? Wow, did we really, like, this is crazy. That's what the kids sitting there saying, like, wow.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you, well, I'll wait until we talk again next time. Whatever the heck is going on with the video chat thing, because, the other night it wouldn't go through, and then the other day I had tried to reschedule it because the first time it wouldn't work, and then it didn't work again. I called the customer service line, and I'm like, well, what's going on? So the dude, like, is like, well, let me see if there's, like, a suspension on your line or on her line. And he was like, no, there's no suspension. Like, are you verified? And I was like, yeah, I already sent y'all, like, my driver's license and everything. And he's like, yeah. Like, everything's good on, like, both ends. And he said that the only thing he could think of is that it might be the tablet at the jail. So he sent, like, a request. Oh, you don't?
All the other wards have a tablet, but we don't. So they had the guy come in there. Then it broke again today. And so then check this out. So then when the ladies came in here, and I know her because she's the deputy, and she was like, Stauch, I accidentally, inadvertently deleted one of your visits for tomorrow early. And I looked at her. I just started laughing because I knew she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it, but I knew what she was doing in my account. And so I looked at her and I go, why are you in my account for? Like, I was picking with her, why are you in my account for? And everybody was like looking at me like, what? Wonder why? I said, I already know why. I said, they trying to figure out how I be talking to Edgar and how I be talking to people. I said, but they ain't going to figure it out. I said, they think I'm that dumb enough to do it, just sit here and be like, here, knowing you guys are downloading every second watching it.
Right, yeah.
Like, do you have to think that? Because that's probably what she was doing, was looking through there to see, like, the recent, visits, who they were, whatever. And I was just laughing. So when I said it, she kind of looked up at me like, oh, shit. I just went and laughed, and I was like, y'all ain't gonna. I said, you ain't gonna get me on nothing. I said, y'all ain't gonna get me on nothing violent. So stop trying. I said, and you ain't gonna figure nothing out until y'all get hit with it at trial. And I she was just looking at me like, because I'm not worried about it. If there's only 2 people upstairs that could say anything, and if those people say anything, all it takes me to make another phone call, and they'd be in serious trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't gonna risk that. Identifying who somebody is, their phone number, their information. They ain't gonna do that. If they do that, they be pretty stupid because they be putting themselves in a big risk.
Yeah. No, I don't. Why? I didn't know they could even. Well, I mean, I guess I would assume they would have, like, access to your account room on there or whatever. But, like, dang, whoever did that had to be, like, probably sweating bullets, and they had to, like, come to you and be like, oh, hey, by the way, I was in there and I accidentally deleted it.
Yeah, and like no one we know that they go through, but it was just the funny part of her like, oh, I was just hanging out at your couch today and deleted it.
Wow.
That was just the thing. Because my neighbor, she goes, you know what they were doing, right? I was like, oh, I know. I said, but they will figure that out. I was like, it's funny.
I feel like, okay, so like, I don't want to say it too much because, well, you know, I feel like, I know who he is.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Don't ever breath her too. Even if that's how my friend Amy was when she figured out who Angelica was, and she was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I figured out who Angelica is, and she was like, she does. She's like, I know exactly. Da 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 da. And she was like, I was like, don't say nothing. And she was like, okay, I won't. She's like, I won't.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I'm chirping out, but yeah. But I'm gonna hang up and call you right back, alright? Or are you hanging out with your husband?
No, we've just been chilling, like just bullshit and watching TV. So you can call back.
Alright, alright. This is stupid thing is Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you for using.
Oh my God. So I will be honest, Jen, the first couple minutes of that I totally missed because
Okay.
Bentley was acting up and he had to go over next door to my mom's for dinner. So I was trying to get him over there. What is this about Edgar hanging out near the house? And so what paperwork were they talking about? Because I missed that.
Okay, so she's going through the first like 600 or 700 pages of the discovery. That doesn't matter. And what she's talking about is she's reading in that paperwork when they were searching for Gannon, but they were searching for Eduardo. And she thinks it's super hilarious that she pointed the finger at a Mexican man. And now people are looking for the Mexican man, and there are Mexican men being chased through her neighborhood. That's just hilarious to Letecia.
Oh God. Yeah, that's just hilarious. I'm
Yeah.
sure that probably angered you a little bit. Oh yeah, you
Okay,
guys like our next
it
overlay?
isn't funny.
No, it's not. She's gross. Well, I'm
It
sorry.
would
You can
anger
tell.
me. It would irritate me. Sorry, Allie, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was rude. It would
No, go ahead.
irritate me no matter what race it was. The fact that she pointed the finger at somebody else pisses me off. You know what I mean? But the fact that she thinks it's hilarious that she pointed the finger and it's all bullshit and they are actually searching for this person and she thinks it's hilarious, that's what really irritates me. The whole situation is like, she's just.
Yeah.
Is Wolfie in the chat? I hope you are, Wolfie. You about to hear it. Puta.
I don't know if she is or not. Well, Shmita, she has there's Edgar, but now she has E, which is Edwin, and he's real. And I think she was talking about Edgar, the non-existing one, but it's confusing because then we also have Eduardo, which she calls him sometimes, and then we have now Edwin. And I'm glad you guys love the overlay. That is from the meme competition. Actually, I think Christine G made that, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty perfect. It's Leticia's face with
yes,
little girl.
Okay, so Edgar and Eduardo there's no Eduardo. There is only Edgar. She talks about it at some point in one of these calls, like way back. Okay. There was never an Eduardo, but there is an Edgar. And now there is an Edwin. And remember, we kind of figured out what she's talking about. She's trying to now make Edgar a real person, i.e., now it's Edwin. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, Amber. The overlay, Jaded, is like the picture that's on the screen over top of the video, what you see right now. But I take it off when we're listening so that you can hear or watch the subtitles. And then that's what she said. It was a meme competition that we had with Letecia. Like everybody sent in memes and stuff, and we did a fundraiser for it, and we raised like a lot of money. I don't know. In total, in the 2 fundraisers, almost $4,000 in Gannon's memory. Now, I will say this: it wasn't, and it could not be anything about the case and including people from the case. It was just strictly Letecia, and that's it. But so anyway.
Right.
Okay, well, our next call is Amy again, and then we're going to end it with our last one with Harley. So anything that we're just going to go right into it?
Well, this one at 6:19, basically, you guys heard it hung up, right? They ran out of minutes. So this is a continuation of the call.
Okay, so
it's
yeah,
just,
it started
yeah,
that says
it's just going to get
our
more it's just going to get more irritating and annoying. Frankly.
Okay. Well,
From
thank you
Letecia.
for and yeah, I don't know. It is frustrating the way that like she always blames either Mexican, Black people, Hispanic people. But I think that we can see kind of where that comes from a little bit when we do hear her chatting with Aunt Brenda and stuff like that. In my opinion, that's just where a lot of that comes from. But not necessarily.
I don't appreciate it. Like, it's dangerous to do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
it's first of all, listen. Susan Smith did the same thing, and it's foul when people do things like that. They don't pay. Susan Smith is the one that pushed that her vehicle into a lake with her children strapped to their car seats. Okay. And then she blamed it on a carjacker who was she said was African American. All right. Now we got Letecia over here who, it's disgusting and it's wrong and it's a waste of resources because and the fact that she's laughing about the waste of resource irritates the shit out of me too, because they had to track down that lead just in case. They couldn't take any chances.
They have to treat it as it could be true, and that's the frustrating part.
Yeah. And yes, Susan Smith is up for parole. She has a shot at parole, but I do not think that she will get it.
Amber Love Reigns, thank you so much for being a member 6 months. She said, love the laughs, and I love listening to these calls. If I ever question my own sanity, I'll listen to these and know I got nothing to worry about. And then
that's true. Also, though, truly insane people never question their sanity. So if you're questioning it, you're already okay.
Yeah. And then Karen, thank you for becoming a member. Landry, thank you for gifting a membership. And then Jordan, thank you for this super chat during that last call, you guys.
You guys are so great. You guys are also great. So supportive.
Yes, they are. Drive safe, something to talk about. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mention this now. I was going to wait till the end, but Lil Red is going through some family stuff right now. And if she I don't know if she's put it in the chat, but just send some extra love and prayers her way.
Lil Red, you're getting all the good juju I got.
Okay. Good.
Sent your way, babe.
Okay. Are you ready for our call?
Yes.
You don't sound
because it's ridiculous and it's just going to get worse. Wait. Y'all thought that she was talking big shit? Just wait. She's talking more big shit.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Then global telling.
Hey,
Hello again.
they're listening to talk about apparently there's some blizzards coming through here like crazy.
Oh no. Really?
They said it'd be like a foot, 2 foot.
Oh geez. It's been so warm here. It's been like high 70s and 80s here lately. It's been awesome.
Oh man, I missed it. Yeah, I don't get to see
We took the girls outside today and let them take the dog out back, and it was so nice. Like, I've been looking forward to this weather. I missed it so much.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll get to see it next spring. Like
Give it time. I'm sure you will. I have high hopes for you.
Oh yeah, I will. It's just a matter of how long it takes to get to the stupid trial to do it.
Yeah, and with the way that things are, it seems like they're trying to move them through pretty quickly. So just hopefully it keeps going at that rate and there's no more, stupid
Yeah.
like emergency court hearings for stupid crap that was already gone over.
I know. He came and told me about that here. I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? What? This is crazy. He was like, I hope you know the jail has it out for you. But I've already told y'all this for a year.
You know what?
Like,
And I was reading that article that they posted today, and it said that like this hearing today was like it was set because of like jail concerns, like it was the concerns of the jail.
Yeah.
So like somebody there had to like say something, which is just stupid.
Yeah. They don't they don't have any concerns of me, and they know that. That's why I think they backed it down a little bit. They knew well they don't got nothing valid on me. I don't be doing that shit, man. They know better than that. But see, that's the thing about it is I'll laugh about it by the fact of they will never get me on anything violent. And if they ever try, they better have some proof because I sure as hell ain't never did nothing violent ain't about to do something. And I know they
I feel like
understand that.
I feel like somebody's probably trying to press your buttons to get a reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they want you to act some kind of way so they can be like, oh look, see, like this is why we say this, that, and the third.
Yeah. And
So,
I just every day, like when things happen like that, it's just I have to go and just it's me and the Lord, and every single good morning I put on what they how they call your helmet of salvation and your belt of truth, your armor from Ephesians 6 about the armor of God. I have to put it on every day because you're in the flesh, you still can make bad choices. We're not perfect, but at the same time, I'm not going behind nobody doing crazy stuff like that. That's just not me, and I ain't about to do it. So this girl, she freaked out and took the computers. So she took the three computers, was knocking them over, throwing the keyboards, getting ready to hit the deputies. Hey, everybody called me into work because I was watching. They were like, see, if that was you, they would have hog-tied you out of here. I said, heck yeah. They had drugged me, slammed me, tased me, beat me.
what was the problem? Like, why did you get upset?
These tricks are crazy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've never seen so many crazy people in my life. That's why they drive me stir crazy. Screaming, yelling. There's people in there fighting them, beating, screaming, throwing shit. Took the hot water today and just threw at somebody. Like,
oh wow.
Crazy. I'm telling you. I'm housed with the crazy people. I don't know how I'm still sane. I mean, I'm halfway crazy, but I don't know how I'm still somewhat sane because these girls are crazy.
I would have gone crazy a long time ago. I would have gone crazy like after being there for like 3 days.
I'm telling you, man, I keep it sane and I pray to God every day. Every day I wake up, God, don't let the day be the day that I lose it. Don't let the day that I lose. Don't let the day be the day that I lose the sense of reality. Just pray that every day. So far, so good. Even though I do have a lot of crazy times, and I was freaking out today. I know that's why he asked about that. My advisor counselor asked about my mental health report because I told him already before I went there. I was like, my voices are freaking out today, and I said they get on high alert when my anxieties get bad, And so I think I only had a few times that I was in there, and I was like, talking to him and freaking out, and then I could still pay attention and come back to what I was doing. Because see, we had prepared, to go over. I had already prepared to like do case law on all of it, because they were saying they wanted him to reconsider, but then they kind of backtracked a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, so I'm sitting there like, At least I did get it handled about. I can use it all. They gave me the times. I go Sunday and Tuesday at 2:30 in the morning. So 2:30 to 4:30 a.m. Sunday morning and Tuesday morning I can go. Because they said they have me.
What's the reason why they have you go in so early in the morning? Because that seems a bit out there to me. Like, I don't understand that.
Which means I can't take my meds. So I quit taking my meds. And I could tell I quit taking them because my anxiety's got bad, which makes my voice as bad, which then makes me more delusional. Because it's like a domino effect, When the anxiety's under control, a lot of times I can keep a lot of the mental stuff under control. But when the anxiety's not under control, I start losing the mental part. But I have to stop taking it because the boost bar and the hydroxyzine and the nightmare meds and the sleepwalking meds, I had to stop taking it because if they're going to come in here and get me at 2:31, I got to be able to go. You know what I'm saying? I know it's only 2 times a week, but I can't go on and off the meds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, and I know, and cold turkey and that stuff is it's hard on your body and it's really hard on your brain.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I worry about, because I've already noticed the nightmare situation has gotten really bad, where I wake up and don't know if it's real or not, if I got zombies there or not, and it takes me until like lunchtime to figure all this out. And that's just because I haven't been able to take those meds. So I can already see an effect on it like that, and just that it makes me a little worried about that part. But I mean, I got to be able to go, because how else am I going to look at it? Because this paperwork they gave me, I mean, yeah, it's reports and stuff, but it ain't like, like if there's a report and they say something's attached to it, it's not there. You have to go look at the digital file. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to like have my brain there. So I had a few times today that I was like, like freaked out about it or whatever. But I got my reports from the doctors in South Carolina and stuff like that. For when I was taking meds for schizophrenia and stuff like that. And it kind of helps because it shows that the CMHIP reports, they didn't really do anything but like, monitor you for 2 or 3 hours and write this report and then give you these tests and don't even, don't follow up on them and all that stuff. So, all that stuff in South Carolina, like, are 20 some days of one, and then the school district is the one that sent me through the program. So like, there's so much excess there compared to what they did there. So he was asking about that because he knew about the stuff in 2016. And he was like, "You think you have it under control?" And I was like, "No. I mean, it goes in and out. I mean, and obviously, because I was like reading some of the reports and like random shit would be like, you could tell it would be like lose a break in reality. You know what I mean? On top, you know what I'm saying? You could tell. Like for example, standing like watching your car in with a dress on and it freaking snowing outside. Just you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, or fussing at the guy telling him he stole my jacket. He's telling me, I didn't steal your jacket. And like me saying to him, like, you did steal my jacket, give my jacket back. Like things like that. I can laugh about it now and I look at it, but like that's definitely schizo, you know what I'm saying? You like freak out with paranoid and lose your sense of reality and start like, everybody's out to get you, or people are here to put this on you or attack you here or do that. And then, there's all these people in, you be aliens or zombies or witches. For me, it's vampires, different things you have, and so like, people don't understand that, unless they actually have it going on in their brain.
Yeah, not a lot of people really understand like the world of mental health or how important having mental health issues like really is, unless they know somebody who has it or they're affected by it themselves. But it's good that you have that paperwork because I feel like it's going to help you out a lot, like in the end game.
Yeah, and and people look at me because they know I'm like so smart and stuff like that. But I was talking to Mr. Sweeney about that. His brother is super smart too, and he's schizophrenia and bipolar. And he's like, but he's brilliant. But that doesn't mean he's not. You know what I'm saying? So you still have those moments of, you're not going to be mentally stable. And there were situations where I was reading, like a report, and the guy, like the cop, might be like, like, we need to check to see if she's on something. Well, of course I'm not on that. Not do drugs. That tells you I was not mentally well.
Yeah. But, a lot of people that don't know about like how mental health, like having a mental health illness works, they just assume that anybody who has anything that's labeled as a mental health disease is like being a bad thing. But it's not. Like I know so many more people who have mental health issues that are like the smartest, nicest, most intelligent people I've ever met. They can't control what's wrong with their brain.
And then like,
my favorite thing
go ahead.
Okay, my favorite thing to say is it's okay to not be okay, because like I'm not okay more often than I am okay.
I know that, but you get put on the fence sometimes, and you got to think, when here I was, working with children all the time and teaching, and then you have to keep that front going, and you try so much to keep it straight that sometimes overdoing it causes you to, to lose that mental break or whatever, when I started seeing like chants in my classroom, and knowing I knew he was dead, but then I started seeing my stepdad, and I was trying to kill him, like ran over him, because he molested me, and he was supposed to already be dead, you know what I mean, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're like actually doing it or not doing that. You know, like, people be looking at you like, what kind of drugs are you on? I'm like, I don't do drugs. I'm like, no, my brain just operates that way. Or like I was reading more, we were talking about somebody was saying to the hospital that there was body parts coming out, or I felt like body parts. But yeah, that's what it feels like. You freak out, and it feels like your body. People are taking your body parts, or I mean, it's just I can't even. It's just crazy. It's just
For me,
crazy as hell.
I don't quite go through stuff like that, but for me, it's like I have like severe mood swings. Most of the time, I'm okay. But then there's some days I wake up and like nothing is going on, nothing bad has happened. But I wake up and I'm just like so damn angry or just like upset. And I don't know why, but I can't get like my mind can rationalize that like it doesn't make sense, but I can't make it go away.
It's crazy. In like 1 minute, I was looking at one of those things, and it would be like I'd be doing like I'd be okay. But it's like I'd be like not in reality, thinking this is not real. And next thing you know, I might be googling something like, "Oh, let's ride to Disney World." The next thing I'll be like, "Oh, how do you find this person? How do you look for a search? How do you do a search party?" Next thing I might be doing, I was looking up like, "Oh my God, why did Kobe Bryant die?" You know, because my mind, you know, you're not fully 100% there when you go all over the place like that. You know, that's not stable. You know, that you wouldn't want someone stable like that to be to be doing anything. And it just driving. There were things that I was like, I don't even remember driving. I don't even know how I weren't dead from driving places I don't even remember. You know what I mean? Stuff I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's almost like a disassociation type of disorder. You know, where you just disassociate for a little bit and then you be like, oh, I'm back. What happened? Because I do that. Like sometimes I do things to people like they say I did something and I'll be like, what do you mean? I don't remember doing that. And I truly, really, I really don't. Like,
Yeah.
Albert used to say that to me. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that. Like the time the house got robbed and I was telling him something and he asked me about something. I'd be like, wait, what? I was like, I don't remember any of this. And he was like, yes, you do. I'm like, no, I don't.
When did the house get robbed?
Yeah, so like, they came in and like, I don't know what happened, but then what happened was the cops tried to say that while me and Albert was out, that I wanted him to be home from work, so I acted like somebody was there or some stupid shit. And I was sitting there like, but then that's ideal schizophrenia right there, because then there was really somebody there in my brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like common sense, and there you go. You just proved my mental illness that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like you just proved it. Because then in your mind you feel like you're getting kidnapped, or you feel like someone's like attacking you, robbing your house, you know, like all these things, you know. And I was talking to this one girl about it here when I was telling her that, and she said the same thing happened to her, that she called the base police and everything. They went through the whole.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Anyway, I'll finish telling you about that tomorrow. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so he mentioned his letters on there, which I made it a point. I knew I had sent him that letter. I wanted it to be posted in my Discovery anyway, so I was totally cool about that, about the judge, but he did mention it at my hearing. But did you got just one of your letters, right?
Yeah, I've only gotten that one
Okay.
so far.
There should be more coming somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what to do with the other things whenever you get time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, I'll talk to you.
Before I think that, I put money on your phone account, and I put money on the video app thing for you too.
Oh, thank you so much, because I just transferred some too. Hopefully the video works tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, all right, bye.
Bye, have a good night. Bye.
Oh my God. Why are you spending your money on?
That's the question you have, Allie. Why are you spending your money?
That's the way it ended. I had many thoughts throughout that, but just because it ended that way, and I remember she didn't have much money before, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you're obviously like it. I do have sympathy for her at times. I'm not trying to be ugly towards her at all. I'm really not, but it does almost feel like she's a fan of hers or something like that, and it makes me super uncomfortable. But no, I have a lot of thoughts, and I pulled the article about that hearing, and Amy references reading an article that morning. I pulled that. I wanted to get your thoughts before I read that, and also I found it interesting, and you pointed it out, and other people did too. Her trying to explain away her Google searches. She's got that discovery now, and
Yes.
So what do you?
Well, a thought occurred to me, and I don't know why I hadn't considered this before, because it's though obvious, I'm curious about something. I would imagine that as part of her discovery, she would also be privy to the mental health evaluations done by the state for competency, as well as the evaluations and reports done by the person that her former attorneys asked to evaluate her. And I am thinking that Letecia is now something, I would imagine there is something somewhere in those reports. And now Letecia is starting to try to make her behavior fit. She's constantly bringing up disassociation. Okay. People disassociate all the time. Have you ever driven?
Right.
And you got a lot on your mind, you're stressed out, you get in your car, you're driving home from work or whatever. It's the same thing it's something that you do every single day. You take the same way, blah blah blah, right? And you remember getting in the car, and then you kind of realize you're at home and you don't really remember the drive. That's disassociation.
Right. Yeah.
So and people do it all the time. It doesn't actually
I do it all the
mean.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
disassociate quite frequently. I've disassociated at least 37 times during this last batch of calls. It just
Same,
happens.
yeah.
It's one of those things. It's what your brain is doing its job. It's protecting you from whatever is on your mind, and it also other things. But anyway, but I think that Letecia has mentioned something similar, a story that's similar, probably something that's real, and read the disassociation, and boom. Because before, when she was talking about the Volturi, when she was talking about her altars, she did not use the word dissociate. That's not a word that she used. So
it's like she just, yeah.
Yes. And now it's the new buzzword. But remember, again, Letecia isn't talking. There's two reasons I think. Well, it's probably more than that. But the main reasons Letecia's talking to Amy is the primary reason, I think, is because she has a message that she wants Amy to relay. And that's why she's talking to her. And I think the second reason is that, she is locked up. She ain't,
Right. And
all she's got is three hots and a cot, she doesn't have anything else to do. And, so, she's entertaining her, but she's definitely doing it with the purpose of wanting Amy to get out this information. And this makes sense when we think about the interview that Amy Lang gave to Critical K, because Amy was thinking that she was going to be a witness. And I believe that she was on a list. She was just never actually called.
She was. Yeah, she
and
was. Hey,
so, you know what I'm saying? So this is all, all of those things.
Yeah, she was. And I agree with you 100%. So I had put in the chat, I did reach out to Amy Lang after her interview, and I talked to her a little bit. She did not give me permission to share the messages, so I didn't. But there was nothing really groundbreaking anyways, except I will say the one thing that I took from it. I know I told you, Jen, but I didn't really anybody else. She did show me, Letecia sent her a letter after. She hadn't talked to her for a long time before around the time of the trial, but when it was over, she did get a letter from her. So, and I don't know if she'll ever come out and speak again. We'll see. But, yeah. So also I found it interesting. She said that her lawyer told her, I hope you know the DA has it out for you. The DA is trying to prosecute the murder of a child. I don't think he has this personal vendetta against Letecia. He is trying to do his job. And then another part I want to mention, and then I'll read you this article. I think this is the article Amy was referring to in the call, but She says, I'm in here. They've got me with all these crazy people. Somebody just took hot water and threw it right on someone. And I'm thinking, Letecia, you in the incident reports got in trouble for throwing shit water right on someone out of the toilet, scooping water out of the toilet and throwing it on them on their bed because you wanted a new roommate. You didn't want them anymore. Let's be real here.
Right, Letecia, like you are the monkeys from what is that one with Marty, the lion and the zebra? Oh God, what is the name of that movie where the monkeys are escaping and they say to each other, if anyone has any poo, fling it now. That's you, Letecia. You're a poo flinger.
Yeah,
What is the
she
name of that
is.
movie? That's going to
Okay.
drive me nuts.
So I think this is the article because it came out March 12th,
Yes,
and
the
it
nuts,
also
I got it.
is, and it's the
Sorry.
same. That's okay. It's the same, what they were talking about. So it just says, Letecia Stauch, accused of murdering her 11-year-old stepson Gannon in early 2020, faced a judge again at the El Paso County Courthouse on Friday to discuss access to evidence in jail and security concerns in light of her decision to represent herself at trial. The main concern from the sheriff's office at Friday's hearing was that Stauch may be getting more paper in her cell than originally agreed upon, and that could give her an opportunity to hide weapons or other contraband. On Wednesday, her court-appointed advisory counsel, Josh Tellini, delivered roughly 100 pages of case law talking about a person's right to represent themselves. Chris Strider, an attorney with the sheriff's office, told the judge that jail staff weren't given any opportunity to weigh in on these security concerns that come with additional paper being delivered to Stauch, especially considering that Stauch had a previous incident with coordinating an escape from jail. Ultimately, the judge decided that Stauch will allow to have as much paper as can fit in a standard property box, which is protocol in this situation. She will have access to the 1,800 pages of case core that she was originally allowed to have in her cell, as well as additional paperwork brought in by her advisory counsel. Judge Gregory Warner even went to get a ream of paper during the hearing to give everyone a visual of how much she would have in her cell. At another point in the hearing, Bendy, it was revealed that Stauch still has yet to visit the jail's law library. She was given an opportunity to visit the library on Tuesday, but denied that opportunity because she said she didn't have anything to do there yet, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Typically, when a defendant waives their access to the jail's library, their access is stripped for 90 days. Staff is making an exception, and she will continue to have access. Stauch, dressed in an orange jumpsuit, also raised concerns that when she ultimately did visit the law library, she would be in full restraints and not able to use her hands. A representative from the sheriff's office said she would be partially restrained, but would be allowed to use her hands to go over documents, as no one else should be with her in the library. She'll have 4 hours of access per week to go over all additional evidence that isn't included. It's roughly 24,000 pages of additional evidence. The hearing also revealed that Stauch wrote letters to the judge based on the judge's comments. It appears those letters highlighted Stauch's concerns that the jail was restricting her access to her legal counsel before she decided to represent herself. Referring to the letters, the judge confirmed that Stauch knew her previous legal team was not obligated to file a motion just because she requested it. Then he asked Stauch if she still wanted to represent herself. She said she does. The DA's office raised concerns that they didn't have access to the letters Stauch was writing to the judge. The judge was surprised to learn the letters were sealed and vowed to make those letters public record. Here we go, Jen. He said it could take a day or two, but because she's representing herself, her correspondence with him would become publicly accessible. Stauch's next court appearance is March 29th. It's a status conference, and that is the end of that. And then I do have in the incident report on the 12th, it says Stauch unable to attend law library due to court. First, she was not able to attend due to being taken downtown for her court appearance. Nothing could be annotated in the program's log to reflect this, as she is still not showing in the roster. And then we have on the 9th, this is what they were referring to in the thing. She was scheduled to go to the law library. The officer, who was Amanda Schmolzer, asked Stauch at 2:15 if she was going to go. Stauch informed me she would not be going because she was still lacking her required items to be able to do her work. When I asked for clarification, inmate Stauch said she was still missing a disk and thumb drive to look at her items. I asked her again if she would be going, and she said she would not be going. So I'm sorry, that was a ton of information I tried to get out pretty quickly, but yeah. So there's the kind of background on all of that. But at least we know. So Judge Warner unsealed the records on that hearing on the 12th.
Yes.
And then here's our next overlay.
But what's interesting, though, Allie, is that back at the beginning of March, we heard a call between Letecia and Amy B. And in that phone call, she references the letter to the judge. And that would have been before this hearing. And she said
she
that
wrote
she was
the
going
letter
to be.
in February, but it wasn't out yet. It was sealed. She wrote it like at the end of February.
Right. But what I'm saying is that when she referenced the letter, she said, "You're going to be hearing about this soon." But when she said that, it was way before any of these filings. You see what I'm saying? So how did I don't know? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know, but I do know that the letter was sealed, like I said, because in the article about the letter, so I'm not sure. Tisha probably just knew everything was going to hit the news. All of the stuff from her case is what I would assume.
True.
But
that's true. That's true.
Hey, bo. So our last call is Harley, and this is another meme entry in that little contest. I thought it was pretty funny, especially with all the karate references.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything about this last call?
Not that I can really remember offhand.
Okay.
That I wrote down. It's not a long call. In fact, like tomorrow or whenever we do the calls next, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out because on March 13th, there's 5 calls. Well, four calls with Harley in the morning. One at 10:03, one at 10:09, one at 10:13, and one at 10:20. So and I noticed that Harley's calls are getting increasingly short.
Oh, okay.
We don't hardly have, there's a few, but the majority of the calls between her and Harley are 7-8 minutes at most. Look at the ones I was just talking about. 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting, but I think poor Harley listened to when they do talk what the call consists of. So
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Pointer Lover, excuse me, wants me to announce it's not her birthday. We always have an ongoing joke with her birthday, but her birthday's coming up now in a few weeks. We just have like 3-ish more weeks, a little over 3 weeks. We also have Punksy's birthday coming up in like a week and a half or so. But today is not Pointer Lover's birthday. Okay. All right. She asked me to announce it, so I had to announce it. But all right, you ready to go into
yes,
this last
ma'am.
call?
Last one. Yep, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Hey, so they they had to fix the machine, so they should have confirmed your thing again for tomorrow.
Okay.
Hopefully it's fixed. Somebody came in here last night, somebody came in here today, and the girl got on it earlier to talk to her niece, so I think it worked. I was like, oh. So the deputy came up there earlier with a tablet, and she was like, I accidentally canceled Harley's visit, but I was trying to fix the thing. So she was like, go redo it, and I'll accept it.
Yeah, because I had got an email, and it was like, your visit was canceled, and I was like,
Yeah. She came in and told me she accidentally did it. She was trying to work on the thing, getting it to work, and she accidentally canceled it. So she thought the tablet up to me and let me reschedule it, and she accepted it for me since it was, outside the time frame. She was like, I'll just go ahead and confirm it for you. I was like, okay, cool. She was like, I saw your video with the girl. I was like, the girl? She's like, yeah, the pretty girl, Harley.
Oh my god.
Like, oh, Harley, the pretty girl.
Sadie just took a shower with me.
Oh, I gotta tell you something funny. I was reading something, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing about like the case things. So don't panic. Well, I was reading one of these reports, and they were like talking about somebody was driving a Jetta one time, and they were like, "This Hispanic girl with curly hair."
Oh my god.
I died laughing. I spit my drink out. I was like, "Oh my god!" And Holly read that, she started ripping the pages up.
I would.
It was like a short Hispanic skinny girl with curly hair. I was sitting there. First of all, how many Hispanic people do you know with curly hair, really?
Right.
I was just laughing so hard. I was like, oh god.
Ridiculous.
One time it was like, Harley sped off in her white SUV. What? It was like Harley sped off in her white SUV and she was on three wheels.
Oh my god.
Like it was like the little Hispanic girl with curly hair. Oh my god, I could not breathe. I laughed so hard. I was like, first off, Harley don't speed off on three wheels. Second of all, she doesn't look Hispanic, so I don't know. I was like, if anything, you look like you're more mixed with Asian. Wow, God. Oh god, that was so funny. I had to laugh on that one. What have you been up to?
Nothing. I just got home from working out.
You heard from Chance?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right, man.
He what?
He's in love.
Who?
Chance.
He's what now?
He's in love.
With who?
Where he's at.
Oh, how do you know?
Because I can tell by looking like he just sunbathes on their back patio all day.
Yeah, then he likes that then.
He runs our yard is huge.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy he's having a good time. Has he been behaving?
Yeah, she was like, yeah, he's fitting so well. I was like, okay, good. And Sadie,
everywhere.
I know, right? Sadie's crazy. She's super chill now.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Booty?
Yeah.
I know that. Don't hang up the call. No.
I had a dream about her. She was having babies, so I was freaking out. I was like, Carly, she's not sick.
Yeah. The neighbors want to buy a French bulldog now because of Sadie.
Oh gosh.
No, that's
they breed.
Come get in your cage. Come get in your cage.
Why's she getting in her cage?
Because I'm going to grocery store.
Oh. I'm like, what in the heck? You go to her cage. Poor little thing. Already had to go to her cage.
She doesn't even sleep in her cage no more. Go in.
Oh.
If I made her sleep in her cage tonight, she'd probably be like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Like,
she'd probably like, oh gosh, Chance is on his way back. I still hope they can be able to play with each other though. Like if they come down, they can bring him or something. They would.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
They will. She doesn't even care that he was gone.
Or it could be because he ain't getting bit by the leg, arms, and her private parts, and her ears pulled off, and she ain't got to worry about getting in the cage.
Yeah.
Hey, people are crazy, and okay, I'm crazy. I got really bad, a little bit of crazy is though in my head. You know what I mean? I'm getting worse because these people are crazy, Harley.
What do you mean?
They got me housed with the nut jobs. Like, I'm housed with the nut jobs, like crazy out there people.
Why?
That's just where they have me housed. It makes me worse, makes me crazier. Like, that's it. Makes me crazy. I was just freaking out. Okay, I was dying laughing, just freaking out earlier, right? It was the craziest thing. All right, because these people, they were walking around and they kept coming in here, coming in here, coming in here, and I swear, Harley, they had 3 heads. I was just tripping out, and everybody was laughing at me. I was like, they're like, did you do anything today? I was like, what do you mean I do anything? I don't do drugs. Well, they got me with the crazy people, man. It makes me crazy. I actually put the number. No. You said they had 3 heads? Yeah. 3 heads. Yeah, they were all like these Greek people, like the goddesses and all that. They look like that type of people, like the people you look like in when you look at the Venus and Mars and gods and stuff like that. Like that. I was terrified. So I had to get out the scripture and start praying in. I was, because I'm doing a Bible study right now on Corinthians. But I used to do this Bible study with the girls here, and I teach them like a lot of stuff in the Bible, and I teach them about different things or whatever. So like I'm teaching them Paul was and how Paul wrote 13 of the 27 letters, 27 books, and yada yada. So that's good that I said I had to get my word out and start praying because I was like, nah, not today, Satan, not today. Well, Satan be trying to come up in here and he be trying to screw me, and I'm like, not today, get up out of here. Because, all these girls are feeling like demons and stuff, because they be in there with demons and they be beating and banging and screaming and yelling and kicking and everything. The one girl took the computers yesterday. She came across all 3 computers, like, knocked them all down and 3 keyboards. The one girl came out with the hot water and threw it on another girl, like steaming hot water. I'm telling you, they got me with the crazy people. And so I just sit there, I have to keep praying and praying, like, dear God, I'm trying to stay sane, but they are driving me insane. There's only like 1, 2, 3 of us in here that, I guess you could say I'm halfway crazy and halfway normal. One girl, she's already about to go crazy, and she's only been in here for 45 days in this ward. And she's like, I've been at this jail for 400 some days, but I've been here 45 days, and I am about to lose my life. I was like, trust me. You don't sleep, you hear beating bang, you hear people acting fool, so it's like a constant demon thing going on in here. No, look, there she goes again. Boing. You hear that boing? Beat on doors.
No, I can't hear it.
Yeah, scratch can't. Anyway, so yeah, confirm that other visit too, because I sent you one for like Tuesday. If you're available, whatever. Even if it's only for like 5 minutes, if you're at work, 5 minutes is better than open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alrighty, I love you so much, and I had to call you like tripping out, as you're my little Hispanic girl.
I love you too.
Alright, love you. Talk to you later.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
More talk about all the crazy people in there. That is really annoying. Carrie, thank you so much for your super sticker, and love you too. Something to talk about. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So there you have it. So she's talking to Harley about paperwork that she's reading. So that's okay. So then when you were asking me about not the last call, but the call before that with Amy, when Bentley was going to get something to eat, that's what she's talking about. It's all those reports. That's what she's reading. What are you laughing at? What are you? You're snort laughing too.
I'm trying not to focus on it. But Melissa, I think there was a typo, and she was like, wait, Chad, who dat? And it was a broken justice typo. She said she has to go see Chad or something. It's just funny.
Oh, wow.
But oh my gosh, Bendy, thank you for I know that it's a lot to listen to all those calls so many times. For me, sometimes it's really hard for me to even focus on what they're saying. But also watching chat and stuff, it takes my attention. But I mean, if your head doesn't spin listening to these, I don't know. And you've had to do it multiple times today, so thank you for doing that for us.
Well, you're welcome. It's okay. Let me just, let me be fully transparent. So I only actually listen to them like before I give them to you or before we play them like twice. Once when I'm, recording them, right? And then for the final edit to hear the sound. So it's only twice, and then by the time I play it with you, it's like where I'm on the third time. So it's not
Right.
that
Well,
many times, but I don't want to exaggerate, or you know what I mean.
yeah. But I mean, if my head's spinning after one, I'm thinking about you, and I'm like, I know your head's spinning. At least the ones I'm editing, there's going to be some time in between us hearing them again. I'll probably freaking forget half this crazy crap she says because it doesn't always register
Yeah.
necessarily. But so after this, which we can chat for another second, but after this, you guys, Melissa has a live, and it is also about Keisha. It's about, I think I'm not sure what it's going to be exactly, but so you guys definitely go check it out. And I just wanted to say, and I don't want to like get too far into this or anything, but I just want to say that Melissa has always had permission to use anything and everything that I've got for her
And me.
videos, always. And Bendy, and that's been from the beginning, really. And we appreciate her so much, and I love her channel. I laugh my ass off over there. I think she does an excellent job. These are public records. We all paid in for them. I spent about $800 or so of my own money, and I know you guys all spent tons of money too. And we did that so that the public could use them, right? However they see fit. I just want to say that Melissa always has permission to use anything that comes from us, period. And yeah, so
I think
that's just all about that.
yeah. That I mean, listen, these were crowdsourced. But the truth of the matter is they belong to the people. And that's that. And I'm gonna leave it there because, I'm not if I start talking, I'm not gonna stop. And I've tried really hard, as much as difficult as it has been, because I mean, just because I don't say anything doesn't mean that I don't know. And I'm going to leave it at that. I see things.
Yeah. But anyways,
It is what
I
it
am
is.
glad that it really has been a very fascinating study though. And I'm so thankful to do it with you, Jen, and with all of you guys in the chat. It's been crazy because I've never actually taken a look this closely at a case, and that's from start to finish. I followed this from day one on my channel and my TikTok. You can kind of see the evolution of my content to a degree with this, and it always hit very close to home. Gannon reminded me much. I've told you guys of one of my kids, and it just from day one I was hooked on it, but I've never actually followed a case so closely in real time from the time it started through the trial, watched every second of the trial, and then went through not only the case files, the jail files, but also her personal communications with people on these phone calls. I've never done such a deep I've done a lot of deep dives, but never this deep, and it's just been pretty fascinating. So I'm just thankful for you, Jen, and all you guys in the chat. Actually, that's true. Melissa and I did cover Gannon's case way back in the day. I think it was when one of the lives I know we did was like after the pre-trial hearing or preliminary hearing, when all the his injuries and all that kind of stuff came out, because they weren't letting people stream it at that time. We were just
You could just watch it and talk about it.
Yeah. Mel says must have been mentally taxing. It is in a way. Like, Jen, I want to know how you feel about that, because for me, I think the most the most toughest time, like on me mentally, was around the time of the trial when we had to see Gannon, see his injuries. Then right after we hear from his parents, their impact statements. Like, I feel like I probably lost some sleep during that time. Now it's just kind of silly because it's all so much. There's so much bullshit with her, but. What about you? Has it been like mentally taxing on you? And other cases too, but specifically this one.
Oh, yeah. For me, I have to agree. So first of all, when we heard about the order in which the injuries took place, right?
Yeah.
That was like, whoa. It made me like have to like rethink everything that I had
Oh
been
yeah.
thinking because I was under the impression that the head injury came first. But
Me and
then,
you were like, huh? We tried so
yes,
hard to make sense of that.
we
Yeah.
did, we did, we did. And then to when the medical examiner continued her testimony, to know how much he suffered, and that was and that was extremely taxing. But to know how much he suffered and how much, see, the thing is, and I think people forget this, but when Letecia was on trial, she had her head down looking like Samara from The Ring the entire time until that testimony.
Yeah.
That is the
Oh God.
first time that she looked up. And she didn't
It's so
just
true.
look up, she stared, she glared. And I feel like, you see that face she's making right now on this overlay? That's about the
Yeah.
face she was making during that testimony. It was a smirk.
Yeah, she was. It was like
And
she enjoyed that so much, huh?
yes,
Oh,
yes. Yeah, you have 7 days for real. Yeah, I mean, it's just, and to know that, and then when it was all said and done, and she was found guilty, you know, it's a hollow feeling. It doesn't bring Gannon back. Nothing will bring him back. Nothing will take away what he went through. Nothing will take away the pain that Al and Landon and Lena and everybody that loved Gannon will feel. But to sit and watch her body language and rolling of her eyes when Al and Landon gave their victim impact
oh
statements
God.
was also like, I don't know how people in the audience didn't just snatch her directly up. I really don't. I watched because I really thought that one of the bailiffs would move themselves between Letecia and the gallery, because that happens quite frequently, and they didn't. And
Yeah.
I was waiting for that because you know it was her reaction, her rolling of the eyes during all of the victim impact statements, but particularly during Al and Landon, that was so incredibly disrespectful. I'm shocked that that somebody didn't snatch her up.
I I remember thinking that watching it, like I was just thinking if I was behind her, it would be so hard not to. And I, when I was a kid and a young adult, I would get into fights and stuff. But as like a grown woman, I don't do that shit. I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to fight you just because I want to be at home with my kids, not in jail. However, I think it would be so hard to hold yourself back in those moments. Um, yeah, it would just be really hard. And then Mel, that is so sweet. She said, I think you've done him proud, ladies. I appreciate that so
Oh,
much.
thank you, Mel. Hey, you guys got to check out Mel whatever. You want to talk about some comedic relief and a break from these hectic streets?
Yes. Oh
That's the
my
lady
God.
you go to see. She cracks me up all the time.
Me
And
too.
don't get it
Melissa, will you
twisted,
grab my link?
y'all. She will always be the big spoon, and I will always be the little spoon. Although I have said many times to Mel directly, I prefer to be the little spoon, but for Mel, I would absolutely be the big spoon. Just so y'all know, that's how much I adore Mel whatever. She makes me
I
laugh.
love her channel. She makes me laugh too. She is just brilliant. And Melissa, if you would, can you grab her link or one of the mods if Melissa's not still in here? And then Rando, if you email me, I do have a PO box. Oh, thank you, Melissa. You're the best. I didn't know if you could hear me. Thank you, and sorry, Bindi, to interrupt you when I
No, you're
asked
fine,
her to
babe.
drop that.
That's all I had to say.
Well, yeah, Rando, email me and I'll give it to you. So before we go though, Bindi, like when that was happening, did you lose sleep or
Yes.
how has it affected you as far as that goes?
I will tell you that covering Gannon's case, covering JJ Tiley and Tammy's case, because we covered these at the same time, caused me multiple sleepless nights because I follow true crime. I'm constantly aware of the evil that exists in this world, especially the evil that's done to children. But there was something, I think for me, it was the fact that Lori and Letecia were so effing indignant, as if they had been done wrong, as if these kids had done something to them. And how dare anybody be questioning what they did? You know what I'm saying? It was them being so dadgum indignant that just went all over me. I couldn't. It just ugh.
Yeah,
You're
right.
It was a lot. I
Those
actually lost a little bit of weight during the trial, if you want to know the truth.
Well, we're about
mostly
to go
because
through
we
it
were
again.
working so hard. Yeah, we are. We're about to. We got to figure that out too. Us girls.
Yeah,
me,
because
you.
tomorrow starts jury selection, and Bindi and I are going to cover that together. Melissa, are you going to cover any of Adam's trial? You should. So Adam Montgomery's jury selection starts tomorrow. How long do you think that will last, Jen? Because I've seen it go from a day to a week. I know they said it was a very large jury pool. I've got an article I saw today. Let me see if I can grab it.
I mean, I would expect now they already announced that they're going to be in court, I think from 9 until 4 every day. So I feel like it's probably going to take them. We might be lucky and get opening statements at the end of the day tomorrow. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe more like Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know because it depends. See, what it depends on is it depends on the questions that they're asking. Okay. And then it depends on how quickly each side goes through they have a certain number of strikes, people that they can strike from the jury pool without any explanation, no questions asked. It's just, we don't want that juror at the end, right? So it depends on how fast all of that goes. I'm really bad at calling jury selection. That is the one thing that I cannot call.
Right. I've seen
Is the
I know
length of jury selection. Verdict.
Yeah,
I've
because
been
I've
right.
seen it be so different. It can be one day, it can be a week. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
So this article came out just a few hours ago. I don't know if this is the one that I saw or another one. Let's see. Jury selection is scheduled to begin Tuesday. Wonder if that's all it says about it. Both sides are going to want to have the jury to be properly vetted because the prosecution doesn't want to secure a conviction only to have it flipped at the end of it. And the defense team doesn't want to have a jury pool that may be tainted based upon the media reports of this case. But what will not change for either side when they do impanel this impartial jury is just the nature of the crime. Opening statements are expected to begin Wednesday.
What'd I say?
Oh my.
Look
You
at
did.
me.
And that's good because
Y'all
Bentley
know
has a
I didn't read no dadgum. Y'all know I didn't read no dadgum article. I'm What were you
Wow.
gonna say,
Oh
Ellie?
my
Sorry.
gosh. Bentley has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so that'll be perfect. So that way Wednesday
Right.
I can be ready. Because watching when we're doing these like reporting on the trials and going live every night talking about it, you have to watch very closely all day, every second
Yes,
of the
you
day.
do.
Are you going to stream any of
You
it,
do.
Bindi?
I want to, but I have really got to. I got some other content that I've been working on that's almost done that needs to be done because I need to premiere it. And I know you guys have heard me talk about 11 billion times, but if you are at all interested in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Nick Go to John case, I've got a documentary that I'm putting together. I'm probably just going to have to do it in 2 parts just because, I still want to work on, I want to give everybody everything that I promised that I would. And so I want to help, I wanted us to be able to go through the calls, but we need to be able to watch the trial and focus on that and then discuss the trial. So, but I think that if they're expecting opening statements to begin Wednesday, if I work really super hard tomorrow, I can premiere that documentary tomorrow night. And I'm going to look and see whenever, like Melissa or ATS News, if they have anything scheduled, and I'll just schedule the premiere around that. So that way, then I can still on when the opening statements begin Wednesday, I can watch all of that and take notes, but I can also be still processing calls from March so that we can get those out to you guys. And Allie and I'll just have to get to. Yeah, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, I could, but I couldn't for a second.
Okay.
You might have. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. I just
Is your premiere
Allie
tonight?
and I'll just have. No.
I lost. I
No.
didn't hear you for about 20 seconds because I heard you up until that wins. Like you had a lot you wanted to do. You wanted to make sure you got everything that you promised everybody. My laptop died. That's why I came in on another device, and you saw 2 of me. So I kind of lost you there for a second, and I just seen Melissa's comment that is your premiere asking when it was. So I didn't know.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
that I'm going to try to do it tomorrow night. I'm just going to try to schedule it around like MJ and ATS News. I just want to make sure, and if you have anything going on, I can always do it at like 9 or something, or even 9:30. It's not that big of a deal. And then, but Allie and I are going to have to get together and like really figure out this scheduling because we want to be able to talk about the trial. And I know I can process the calls and watch the trial at the same time. So I can do that. But as far as playing them,
Yeah.
Debbie said that everybody was disassociated. Could you repeat all of that for us again? Debbie.
That is funny. Okay, well, Lucia says, Alex, I laugh, cry watching MJ. She's hilarious. Lucia, me too. I was watching her the other night and everyone was asleep, and I was like starting to question if I was going to wake people up because I was trying so hard not to laugh out loud. But those damn videos she does, have you seen her new one?
Yes.
Where everybody knows your name.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love it. It's just funny. It's just a good way to make some of this a little more lighthearted. The same with you and your roast, Bendy. I just love.
I miss doing those. I need to get back to those. Mel, no, I don't.
Yes, you do need to get back to it. And Roxanne, thank you for the Cash App. I just seen that. That was very sweet. Thank you.
Sweet.
Well, I guess we're gonna go because Melissa has a live coming up. Hope you guys will go over there and do a little alley rally over on Melissa's channel, and then please go check out Jen's channel. Of course, you guys know we're up back and forth from channel to channel. And then also the other channels that I've dropped are all excellent as well, including Mel as dropping hers, just all of you guys. And thank you guys for being here. I just appreciate you guys so much. Amber's, absolutely. Thank you. I missed the roast, Jen Lou, said MK. MK, I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see. Yeah, me too. I have to get back to the roasts. I've got to do that. That is one of my favorite things to do. And I need to get back to doing that. And I think, honestly, I need to get back to having fun again. It's been a minute. And I think we're getting there. And I think it's,
I do too.
everything's going to be all right. I do. I feel like that. It's going to be cool. It's going to be
You
a
know,
little
it's been
stressful, just hectic, like getting all the scheduling and stuff like that. But I think you guys are cool, and you understand about the calls. And I know you're not going to be like, hey, come on, where's the calls? Where's the calls? Where's the calls? So I think we'll be
yeah.
fine. That clap might have been a little too loud. Sorry about that for those that are wearing
No,
earbuds.
it
My bad.
wasn't. It
Okay.
was fine. But also, yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, and I can just say,
Mhm.
because I know you so well, and I'm the same, but like when you care so much about the content you put out and the subscribers and the cases and stuff, just any little thing can be really devastating. And you know, we've had an up and down journey on the tube so far, you and I both, and we're gonna get there. I think we're
But if
having
you
fun. I
haven't,
enjoy it.
if you haven't had something like that, an up and down situation, have you really made it? No, you haven't.
No, that
So
is
I've
so true.
arrived.
And we're having fun. I mean, I enjoy doing this with you so much, and we laughing. The chat was freaking hilarious tonight, but also the overlays are so fun. It's fun.
Yes.
Um, so I love this little place in my world, Carrie. Thank you. I do too. You guys are the bomb. You're welcome, Jinx. Okay, Bendy. So, is there anything else you want to add before we end it? Are we
No, I
good?
don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope to see you guys over at Melissa's. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Thank you for everything. Everyone who um, did memberships and super chats and all the things, the membership milestones. I appreciate you guys so much.
I,
And thank
I
you
do
to the
have, I lied.
mods.
I lied.
Okay.
I do have something to say. I'll tell you what I will
Okay.
do, Adrian. I will for sure stream Kayla Montgomery's testimony. And here's why. Because I have nothing for her, and I already know from the weapons trial how her testimony was there. So I can only imagine how it's going to be at this trial. And I believe that we all deserve a place to go and watch that and say whatever we need to say. So that's what I will do. The day that Kayla Montgomery is called to the stand, I will stream that day. I promise. I don't care how long it
Awesome.
takes. I don't care how long she's up there. We will get through it. All of us together.
Um, well, yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm glad you're going to do that because I like when you stream it, and at least we'll have a little smaller place to talk about it. And then the days
Mhm.
we don't stream, Adrian, we're going to do recaps of the day and stuff like that. So we're going to cover it in depth, just not necessarily the streaming part. But there's a lot of places who stream it. So I think after we'll just find a good time to hang out and discuss what happened that day. And then, Gabby, we appreciate you so much too. Carrie said, my partner literally hands me my earbuds, phone, and my liquor of the week as I get in the tub and says, enjoy your crime.
Aw, I love
That is
that.
awesome. Oh, T.
I love
Adams.
that.
Thank you for being here, T. Adams. All right, you guys. Thank you to my mods. You guys are wonderful. Punksy, Pointer Lover, Adrian. I'm naming them off just as I see them in the chat. But all of you guys, thank you so much for everything. I just love and appreciate you guys so much. And you mean the world to me. So thank you for being here. And to all of the mods, I only just read out the names that are in the chat right now. Music City Mom. Tess, oh, I just love you guys. You are just the best. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. We will see you tomorrow for something. And yeah, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.